All right, all right. Good night, everyone. Good evening. Good afternoon for those who are in. Good morning. I don't know where you watching this live stream. I don't know, you're watching from the different part of the world, and it's a different. I don't know what time it is there. Here it's a bit late, so my apologies. Starting, I'm 10 minutes late, so I'm sorry for that. It is Friday, so I want to wish you all happy Friday. Fridays always gets crazy, and man, it's been a long week. Hey, late night trip, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for stopping by. It's always crazy on Fridays. You know, like whole week has been turmoil for sure. So, but I want to say to all of you, thank you for really spending that time with me and being able to I'm able to you know to come here on Fridays or anytime that I do my videos and you watch, you support. It's always a pleasure. It is a pleasure to me. I'm so humble, and when people say that sounds weird, it's not like I'm humble, because then I'm just kind of taking the honor. I'm just it's really a humbling experience to know that there are people who care about what I have to say and they come and watch, and that to me it's so always nice. It kind of gives me an incentive to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm still kind of, I will tell you all before we start the day, I'm not so sure about doing this every week. I was thinking just today, I was so tired. A lot of commuting, traffic has been terrible, like taking time, doing stuff, family situations here, you know, it's like finding the time to do anything has been really hard. So I'm thinking like maybe I need to do this once every 2 weeks, or maybe do the live streams once a month. But the reality is that the companies are producing so much stuff on a weekly basis. There's so many pre-orders, and if you skip something, then you know, like everything piles up, and it would be crazy to do something like that. So I think doing it weekly, or at least try to do weekly when it's possible. And this is, I think, the 5th week since we're restarting doing this. So we try to keep up, because there's so many things that we need to discuss, many things that we need to talk about. So let me see, I have a text message. Ooh, wow, that's my sister-in-law at her house. A big snake too. Wow, she lives nearby. That's a big snake. That is a rattlesnake. Oh wow. Sorry, I gotta probably go and check on that later. Oh, that's in the balcony too, in her balcony. That's messed up. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's the time of the year. Everything is coming to life here. You know, like the alligators here, they're coming to life, back to life. All the animals are coming back to life. So it's really, the spring is here now. But I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for coming. Today we have a busy day. Just to give you an idea what we're going to cover today. And I'm going to read from my list, because I have to make this list, and this list kind of changes all the time. I want to talk about Marvel Legends. We're going to talk, as always, we talk about action figures. We talk about statues, you know, like all sort of things, all sort of collectibles, what I consider, you know, something that a lot of you collect, I collect. So we're going to talk about Marvel Legends. We're going to talk about McFarlane toys, still on the 30th anniversary. Hey, Cypher, how you doing, my friend? Still on the 30th anniversary, so there's some new reveals that happened today. I want to talk about a company, Flame Toys. This company does Transformers stuff. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Threezero. They have the in this case, Transformers stuff. We're going to talk about Mondo. In this case, we're going to talk about the new Rogue action figure, 1/6 scale figure that just went out on pre-order, and it completely sold out quickly. The limited edition. And now, of course, is the regular version, but we're going to look at that. Of course, the X-Men 97 is coming very soon. And definitely we're going to look at that. We're going to look at Hot Toys. There's a new figure. Of course, every week they have something. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at Sideshow. They have a figure, a Beetlejuice 1/6 scale figure. So really it looks really fun. It was a fun movie. And definitely the figure looks great. They have done a fantastic job with it. We're going to look at Iron Studios, of course. It's the last week, the last Friday of the month. So that means that Iron Studios reveals Iron Studios Day. They reveal all the reveals. So they didn't have as many as last month, but they had some cool stuff. We're going to look at the stuff they showcased this month. We're gonna look at Enesco. It's a company that I talked before. They're mostly in figurines, but I really don't care much about their figurines, but they have some Harry Potter 1/8 scale mini figurines, almost really statues, because they're 1/8 scale, so they're not that small. And they seem to be fine. They're at Sideshow right now, but they've been having them for a while, and they look great. We're gonna look at some of that for fans of Harry Potter. We're gonna look at Diamond Select Toys, some of the newest reveals. They have newest pre-order. Gentle Giant, Tsume Art also had a new pre-order this week. We're gonna look at that. Figurama Collectors is getting a new pre-order. If you're a fan of the Fist of the North Star, there's one that is going on pre-order tomorrow. 1/6 scale figure. A lot of people are excited for that particular diorama. We're gonna look at, although Tweeterhead didn't do more reveals this week, there's a couple of, in this case, teasers that they have showcased throughout the last few weeks. And I haven't had the chance to talk about them. So I want to cover today for Thundercats and, of course, also for Masters of the Universe. And there are things that are coming, and I want to give you my point of view, what I think about this quick teasers. We're going to look also at the new teaser from Sideshow Collectibles. They did not have a pre-order this week for statues, but they did an Electra PF teaser, and a lot of people are talking about it. It looks great. We're going to look at the teaser, the little pictures that we have, and I'll give you my opinion on that. We're going to look at Prime1 Studio. They reveal another Lord of the Rings quarter scale statue. It looks fantastic. We're going to look at that today. And we're going to look at PCS. PCS reveal, of course, for the 1/10 scale, the Marvel vs. Capcom line that they have. They have a Sabretooth, looks really great. There's two versions of that. Also, they got the 1/3 scale Pumpkinhead. If you're into horror stuff, they already did the quarter scale, which I think is a fantastic piece. And this is the 1/3. It's a bit different. So we're gonna look at it, see how it looks, and of course compare it to the quarter scale, which I think is still a fantastic piece. Now, and finally, we're gonna look at the last one. Will be Regal Robot, this company which does anything props for Star Wars. They reveal a Wampa puppet prop that was used on the Empire Strikes Back, and we're gonna look at that today. That's another big pre-order. So this is the stuff. Definitely, I would say at the beginning of the day, I was thinking, it's gonna be a small video. It's gonna be a short video, but definitely there were a lot of things that happen. It always happens, and there's a lot of things, and I cannot simply just pass them by. I think there are a lot of things for all fans, and as you know, I'm a big fan of a lot of things. I'm not necessarily stuck with one thing. I like to share all these collectibles to you. But I want to say to all of you, Late Night Cypher, welcome, and everyone else stops by as usual. As you know, I like to on my videos, I do, it's not only that I get the, like I make the live video, the next day we do the timestamps. I do the timestamps, I separate everything, I divide it. That way it's easier. If you're only interested in one product, and that way it kind of gives you an idea what I'm talking about throughout the video, because of course it could be a lengthy video. So that way, if you're only interested in one thing, then you can go to that particular part of the video and hear my opinion about that particular collectible that you're interested on. So I like to do that because it's easier that way. I don't like to look into long videos and trying to decipher where is it that someone is talking about something. At least that gives me an idea, and I'm super glad that YouTube offers the opportunity to do timestamps. So stay tuned for that. That will be tomorrow. But for those who are watching this live, thank you very much for sticking out with me. Thank you for being here with me tonight. And please do not forget to leave a like. If you're here, if you watch the video, if you leave your comments, let me know you're watching through the chat. But also you can do, if you're watching this later, you can do it through the comments. Please share the love, just love this, share with your friends through social media. That would be mostly appreciated and will help me to grow this channel. We've been doing this for, I was actually doing the count. I was watching a video from somebody before we get into everything. A person that has been doing the channel for 15 years, and I was doing the math, and I actually created this channel 14 years ago. In January was 14 years ago when actually I created my profile, or the purpose was to create something, but I didn't do it. I was kind of like skeptical, afraid. I didn't really want to do it. That was 14 years ago. That was in the beginnings of YouTube. There was not really much stuff going on YouTube. It was brand new. But then I started making videos, which actually I already have, even though I have a video since 10 years, it was 11 years now. Last year was our 10th anniversary. Now we're in the 11th anniversary. And believe me, it's been an amazing journey. And of course, you know, we haven't grown this channel to the place where other channels have been in less time, where they have thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands, you know, millions of subscribers. We don't have that. And to be honest, that was never the purpose. It was about just sharing, and it's always been about sharing what I have. I would love to grow this channel to have more viewers. That really helped me to produce better content. Of course, you know, the more chat views, it means that you make some cut out of it, and that helps you. And you know, but it's fun. I do appreciate this. At the end of the day, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy sharing some knowledge, and also talking about the things that you know, made me giggle, you know, like made me feel like a kid again. So I want to say thank you to all of you. You have a lot of knowledge with collecting this stuff. Well, yeah, well, I've been doing this for a long time, which I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I gotta be honest with you. Sometimes I feel like, man, have I wasted my life just doing this? But I'm always been a geek at heart. I always loved, since I was a kid, like many of you, I love to read comics. I learned to read by reading comics. I love the cartoons. That's one. I love the cartoons. Back in the day when there was not much stuff going on, I used to draw a lot. You know, something that I haven't really done in years. I used to draw the characters from the cartoons or whatever I watch, and I used to draw. And I sit down in front of the TV back in the day. You're talking about the early '80s, maybe, and I just draw. And just by looking at the characters, I would be drawing the cartoons or whatever. And I've always been like that. Love the story, love to read, love novels since I was a kid. So I've always been a geek, you know, and gaming, that was a big part of my life too, playing video games. It was something. And I've always, you know, when I got the opportunity, when I saw my first statues many, many years ago, like in a comic book shop, which was, I think, a Warner Brothers statue. I think it was a Batman statue. That's many years ago. I just had to grab it. And I've been collecting a lot of stuff since, you know, like, from all different companies, Baldwin and all that. I have done everything. So, and I love it. I just love the art. I just love the capacity. I wish I have the same ability that some of these guys have, that in many ways they started doing by drawing and sculpting. And I really got into a little bit as a teenager into sculpting, but I didn't really get the opportunity to develop into it for many reasons, you know, family, personal reasons, things that happened you know, when I was a teenager, that it stopped me from actually pursuing those goals. But I still love it, you know, and I do love what companies are doing nowadays. Oh, thank you very much, Late Night. I appreciate it. Thank you for those words, and it's fun, you know. And to be honest, one thing that I've always wanted about this channel is to be an encourager, to encourage people, and to live their lives, you know, to pursue their dreams, to do what they want to do, to collect the things, not just as a competition, because it seems to me that sometimes a lot of people get into it and feel that there's a competition, that you have to build this collection and you got to do this. No, just to build what you love. And in the end, it takes time. You know, building something that you love takes time. And it's better sometimes to be slowly but surely. It's better to build things at a normal pace, at a pace that you can control, that you can keep up, because then you enjoy the journey. And you'll see back then, and when you come to look at it, the time passes, and you realize, oh, wait a minute, it's been a while doing this, and it's been for me, even for collectibles. To me, it's like I've seen the evolution of these companies. I've seen them grow. I've seen some companies close. I've seen companies produce some of the best things that I think right now at this stage, it's easier to complain about that. All the times you see videos, people saying that this bubble is crashing, that this is the downfall of the industry, that collectibles have no space anymore, and they're too expensive, and it's going to crash. All of those things, I would say there are a lot of things, a lot of concerns and fears that are acceptable. But at the same time, the art at this point in time, the way companies behave and the way the industry is, has never been as good as this. Like, companies are producing things now, like, for example, like I'm telling you, like, you know, every week there's so many collectibles. It used to be a time where it would take time, like every couple of months, until a company would release something, and then you would not hear from them again a couple of months, and it was it, you know. And all that time you spend going to the forums talking about the same piece that will take a while to be released. And but now the companies are manufacturing at this speed and level and the quality, and some of these companies are making things are so realistic that it blows my mind what these companies are doing. The talent of this artist, what they're coming up with, the ideas they're coming up. It's like you're looking at realistic figures, like more than realistic, and it's so amazing. It blows my mind. And yes, things are more expensive now than ever, but at the same time, like they're just marvelous pieces of art. Like, you know, sometimes when you fall in love with something, you don't care about how much it is because you fall in love with something. And the same way when you fall in love with a person, when you fall in love for the first time, like you love with your spouse, you're willing to do whatever, you know, to get that. And the same happens with collectors. I think collectors, when they fall in love with something, they're willing to go the extra mile just for that. The FOMO is real. You know, sometimes we have the fear of missing out, so that's why we have to be very careful. And I think with experience, and the experience that I have allowed me to learn from my mistakes, which have been plenty mistakes, to share that so people don't fall prey for those mistakes that I did have. Starting as a collector because there was not much information around, because also I was prey of FOMO because I thought this was the right way to do it, or because I thought that this will be permanent or something, and all of a sudden things didn't work out and they get frustrated and angry with it. So you learn a lot. I think over time you become more patient and more kind to people in this hobby, particularly the newcomers, and more than importantly to the people who are involved in the production of things. Because I used to be the type of person that I would speak my mind, and sometimes I would say things even in the forums, which could be hurtful to the artist. I used to be one of them, one of those guys that used to say something. But then over time I realized, you know, hey, these guys are just like me. They're fans. And, you know, they have feelings. They have families to feed. They have, you know, deadlines. They have things they have to deal with. Sometimes they produce stuff that they don't have the heart for, but they do it because it's a job, and not necessarily because they feel. And sometimes they might not be in agreement with what they're doing, but they have to do it that way because that's how the company wants it, or that's because the approval that came from someone that says you need to change this or that, and they have to adapt to it. And it's not a simple thing. It's not like you can do it on your own, because when you're doing things on your own, you have control. That's what happens when you see a lot of custom makers doing whatever. It's because they have control. You know, they're not paying for a royalty. They're not paying a company for the franchise. They're not paying for the license, so they can do whatever they want because everything is under the table. So, all right, so that was my speech. That was my spiel for the day. Sorry for that, man. I'm just trying to rile myself up because I was falling asleep. I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this. But, you know, I'm telling you this. This is what my wife says. I get so excited when I'm doing this that I get so, like, my body gets so energized. I'm telling you, like, I come so tired. I'm dragging my feet. I'm not going to be able to do this video. But then when I start talking about collectibles, I get so energized. And, like, I'm telling you, I'll be here for 3 hours. Hey, what's up, Mitchell? How you doing, my friend? So I could be here for 3 hours, and then I finish this video. My body is depleted, but my mind is still rolling. You know, so I had to go. Like last week, I went and sit down. I think I watched a full episode of the, you know, I don't know, a TV show for an hour episode or something. I ate something. It was kind of like 2 o'clock when I was ready to go to bed, and I was still not tired. So yeah, I do get energized, and I would say it's because I get the opportunity to talk to all of you. So everybody, thank you for coming. So let's start today. Let's start now. Let's get into the nitty gritty of these. Let's start talking and covering these collectibles. So first, I want to go. Let me take you. I was thinking about going to Hasbro, but no, we're going to talk about Marvel Legends figures. But for that, let me take you to Big Bad Toy Store. Of course, Big Bad, a company that has been in so much. I remember when it was the only 2 companies back in the day I remember that were there, or the ones I remember the most that I did spend a lot of money there. It was Big Bad, and also what's the other company? Urban Collector, which no longer exists. Urban Collector, I did spend a lot of money on Urban Collector. I used to love to order from them too. I think I preferred them back then than Big Bad Toy Store. I don't remember exactly what happened to them. They just went out of business or were bought out or something. I don't remember. It's been a while. But here we come in here and we're going to cover some of the stuff here that you see. Of course, Iron Studios. We're going to look at Iron Studios in a moment. We're going to go to Sideshow, particularly for those. We're going to talk about Spawn. This is from Hellboy stuff. Hellboy, I'm sorry. This is from McFarlane. From the Spawn. They have the 30th anniversary. But here, I want to start with Marvel Legends series. This is the Zabu Build-A-Figure. Now, normally I don't really cover much Marvel Legends unless it's something very special. Because, you know, I don't think that they're the most, most people that come to my channel don't come from Marvel Legends. They come here because they want to talk about statues or, primarily the more expensive high-end collectibles. However, you follow me closely, you follow me on social media, follow me on on Instagram, you know that I like to collect Marvel Legends. I do collect Marvel Legends. I don't have them all. I don't collect them every figure that comes out. I just collect the ones that I like a lot. The ones that, to me, that are closer to the source material. Now, the Build-A-Figure collections have always been a bit weird to me because, you know, honestly, sometimes you get so much crap with the Build-A-Figure. Like, you get a lot of one figure you want, two figures you like. Maybe you want to build the figure that is, of course, the Build-A-Figure. But then you get all these crap figures that nobody cares about. And unfortunately, I don't try to collect them as much. Sometimes I do, but not all the time. And I'll tell you that this Zabu Build-A-Figure, of course, this is from Kassar, which actually comes also included in this series, in this wave. And I'm super excited for that particular figure. I think the last time there was a Kassar, there was a San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know how, it's been a while. San Diego Comic-Con special, or one exclusive where you have Kassar, Zabu, and Shana, and they came together. If you go right now to to eBay, that they're asking for $400, $700 for that particular set, which is stupid. So it's been a while, and the figure was good for the time, particularly I think Zabu was great, but I think this Build-A-Figure collection, it's much better. Now, there are a couple figures. They got this Superior Iron Man. I don't care about Superior Iron Man. To be honest with you, this is one of those figures that I think is crap. I'm a classic Iron Man. I love the more classic stuff. I love the more iconic suits. Not necessarily this is a new suit. I don't care about it, so they can keep it. Now, this Thor Marvel Legends, the Black Winter, that's another one they can keep. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. But the figure that really, one of the figures that I care about here is Wolfsbane. Because this is one, I think they already almost built the whole X Factor. They were missing the X Factor. Now, the portrait, I will tell you, it's kind of funny looking. Look at that face. It's like, she looks like she just, I don't know, like somebody farted and she's with it. Or I don't know, like somebody, she's like not happy about it. So that portrait needs some work. I'm not crazy about it, but the body itself, the mold is, I think, is pretty good. Yeah, the face is one that I think they could have done a lot better with it. It does have the classic X Factor suit, which is good, and it's going to be a good companion to the other members of X Factor. So, big guy and everybody else. So I think, it was a needed figure. So a lot of people are gonna go for it. Some people like it. I just don't really like the expression. I think the face is not bad. The sculpt is not bad. It's just the expression that they chose for the face, which I think it's like, what's wrong with her nose? She's smelling it and she's not liking it. So yeah, that's my only thing there. So yeah, and let me show you. Of course, she has the body of Zabu. So like you're gonna have to have it. And I do like the color. The nice paint job on that one, and of course classic. And I like it. This is the thing. I love retro packaging. So, but the thing with retro packaging is that I hate to open the retro packaging. I like to have figures in retro packaging. So I'm glad when Marvel actually, Marvel Legends come in the basic packaging that you can throw away, because that means that I don't feel bad. And that doesn't mean that I feel like I need to buy two of the same. Some people like to collect this packaging. To me, it's not pretty. It doesn't look good in my opinion. It's just regular packaging, very quick to get rid of. If it's retro packaging, the card backs, like the old classic, those are the ones I like to have on display. And more than likely, I'm gonna have to get two figures for that. I want just to display, want to get out, because yeah, you want to get it out. But this is the art. They choose this. The face, all right. Here it would be closer to this face. It would be amazing. Even with white eyes, it would have been better than the eyes. And here you can see all the different parts with Zabu. He looks great. I think it's a great figure. I think it's better than the previous one on that set that I'm telling you that is really, really expensive. Very nice, for those who collect Marvel Legends. Now it would be nice also if there was a statue at some point of, Kassar and Zabu. That would be awesome. The Savage Land. And here is, of course, Kassar. He looks great. I think it's a great figure. Some people complain about some of the seams and stuff and the arms and things like that. Of course, you see the seams for rotation. I think it's a great sculpt. it's a great choice. It's more like this reminds me more than the original Kassar. It looks more like the 80s version, the 90s version of Kassar, or at least the way he was drawn. So it looks great. Done with that spear and with that knife. I think it's a pretty good one. There's nothing wrong with it. So yeah, that's another one. I would say this is another one that is interesting. Perhaps I like it more than Wolfsbane. And then you have the Red Widow. Don't care about that one. That's crap. Then you have, of course, the Eternals. And this is one that I really like. Icarus is one character that a lot of people, you know, had mixed feelings because a lot of people do not know the Eternals. On the Eternals movie, I did review it on this channel. It was not a good movie. Unfortunately, it was not. It's my least favorite of the Marvel Universe. And, you know, I'm thinking that I was even very kind on the grading that I gave him. I think it's less than that. I only watched it once because I was disappointed with it. I need to watch it again. Maybe in a second watch, that really shapes my a better opinion in my mind. Maybe I'll be more forgiving. Who knows? But I do like that they took the classic Jack Kirby style, which has been something that even Walt Simonson was doing. So this is the classic design, the classic suit of Icarus, and it looks great. I think it's a great choice. It's one that is so good that it's still, to this day, a lot of artists are still choosing to use. So I'm glad that they did that one. Of course, you know, you have a little bit of more modern rendition of Icarus, perhaps. If it was more classic, the blue will be lighter. But overall, and maybe the red a little brighter too. But overall, it's very classic. It's a very well done Icarus. And I'm not sure I think we have a few Eternal figures. There's a few that we already seen, but you know, I think that we're missing a lot. So I think that this is a great addition for those who are interested in building the Eternals collection. So that is super good. And I think we have other members of the Eternals previously in some of the Build-A-Figure collections. So yeah, I think that's coming pretty good. I think the most exciting, we already talked about the X-Men 97, Marvel, old X-Men 97. Really excited for this show. It's coming very soon. I have my reservations about it, but, you know, looking forward to it. But I think the one from the whole collection that excited me the most. It says, I want everyone besides Iron Man. Yes. I think the one that really excites me the most is this one. It's Cable. This is the Cable and X-Force version of the late 90s. And this is, to me, so I even heard, you know, people say, oh, this is the Marvel vs. Capcom version. It is not the Marvel vs. Capcom version. This is the late 90s version from the comics. I hate when people use these comparisons, and it shows that they really don't read comics. And sometimes I feel like, okay, if you're collecting Marvel Legends, at least you have to be familiar with, or at least do the research. So they're going for that classic 90s. I think it's great, classic late 90s. It is a great Cable. Of course, we already have the Rob Liefeld version, which looks good too. But I think this is a very nice version. Some people will say that perhaps it requires more bulk. It needs to be taller. But I think it's perfect for what it is. It's not bad at all. I like the portrait. The portrait looks great. The effect on the eye, all of that. I think it's great. Of course, one thing that I will be disappointed is the choice of the plastic on the arm. It looks very plasticky. I wish it was more bright, a more metallic bright. That would be even better. But I like the poses. I like the way. And another thing that I would complain is that it still has it has the pins. They're using now with the X-Men 97 the pinless arms, and you know, and they don't have it here. I can see the pins if I'm not mistaken. There, I think I can see one. Yeah, you can see them right there. So that would be a disappointment. But beyond that, it's just a figure. I think I can certainly say that this is the one I'm probably gonna like the most. I really like the most. Now, there's another thing, and I just want to point this out, just to kind of give you an idea. You're going to point this out. These are figures, of course. Many of them do we have cover. But let me go back, because there's another figure that was, or a set that actually is going to be re-released later in the year. And I think a lot of people are excited for this set. The Marvel Comics 80th anniversary. They're bringing some of the ones that they already were sold out, hard to come by. This is a very good one. Juggernaut, the Colossal Juggernaut. I need this one. I remember saw it this when he was released, and it was a Target. I saw it. For some reason, I didn't care about it. At that moment, I was not really so interested on doing. I kind of like, I took a break from Marvel Legends. I was not really doing it. as much, and I saw it as, oh yeah, I'll be there, I'll come back, and I forgot, you know. So now and then trying to get it is hard, but I think this is definitely the best Juggernaut in the Marvel Legends series. All the Marvel Legends they have done, I think they, of course, Diamond Select Toys is the better one. That's the best version, and I think that was also sculpted, if I'm not mistaken, it was sculpted by Gentle Giant Ltd, and I'm not sure if it was, I think maybe the Kucharic brothers were involved in that sculpt. But the thing is this, that is the best. But I think for Marvel Legends, this is definitely the best. And that Colossus looks great. I think it's a great companion. So this art coming back. So if you missed out on those, the only thing I'm gonna not so happy about it, of course, it comes with, I love the way they have the interchangeable portrait, the helmet, all that. Looks great. The face is great. The only thing I'm going to complain about this figure is the price point. I think when it came out, it was no more than what, $50 or something like that. It was not even more than 60. It was like around $50. Now it's $75.99, which I think is too steep for this figure. Yeah, they're big, particularly that Juggernaut, but I think they're still a very expensive figure. But I don't know, it looks great. Even the packaging looks great. I love that they use that, you know, the Uncanny, the X-Men, of course, the 102, the classic issue, and that to me, that's great. So it's not bad. So I'm definitely gonna get this one. Now I'm not gonna skip it. I feel like, man, paying $75.99, that's steep, man. You know, like for something that is a reissue. I don't know, but that's what you see nowadays. You see the regular figures are like $25. To me, like, it's just two figures. You know, it should be, if it's $25, it's $50. If you do it at $60, I think that's a fair price. $60 is a fair price. But now asking for that, when you're technically saving a lot with the packaging, no, it's not something that I'm so intrigued by it. Hey, what's up, Warrior Chaplain? How you doing, my friend? I appreciate the show. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you for spending time with me through the night. All right, so this is what we have from Marvel Legends. Let's go now to McFarlane Toys, and I can look at the stuff here, as you can see right here, but I want to go to a McFarlane store because that's where you also have McFarlane is doing some specials. You know, like they got the special signature. You're looking at that. So we're gonna do McFarlane store. And I want to look at it because I want to show you. So the stuff that actually, not now. I hate when they ask you for that kind of stuff. So these are the new Spawn figures, and man, it's great. I think that there's a couple of things that are really amazing about this collection. So let's look at the stuff. Of course, I already sold out. I already sold out, man. Why they do me like that? Every time. Oh, gee. Both. It just went out on pre-order today, and they're already both sold out. The regular version and the exclusive version. Hopefully, you can find something. Man, that's the bad thing about... I'm telling you, when McFarlane, with Todd, decides to do stuff like this, there are a couple of things that they go out right away. Hopefully, he gets some more eventually, as he has done in the past. And maybe we can... For example, I already have the Wings of Redemption. We talked about it just recently. But let me show you the stuff here that I'm talking about. These are everything. I'm gonna start first with this. A couple of these figures are just figures that he has done in the past, and now they come with improvements. But it's the same figure, so there's a complaint about it. That's reason perhaps they're not selling as well. Like for example, the Hellspawn 2. This has been remastered supposedly digitally. It's a 7-inch figure, and this one, it looks great. It does have a little bit, you know, these figures. He call them figures. But to be honest with you, they are more as... These are like the classic stuff that he used to do back in the day, you know, when he did a lot of the figures. He called them figures, but they're more like little statues, you know, little statues of PVC or vinyl, whatever. It looks great. I think it's a really nice... it has like the patina color, which is very nice. I wish it was a statue more than just a figure. It's not a big figure. It's small. But it's reminiscent of the stuff that he used to do back in the day, which is, in my opinion, is interesting. Here it has a video. You can watch the video, of course, on... kind of give you a 360 of it. It's $24. Gonna ship in April. So that is just an option there. I think the other one that really intrigued me, they have this one, for example, the Commander Spawn. Of course, very reminiscent of the original toys, very classic. A lot of people also complain about, but why is it not like a more modern version? This is more because, of course, the 30th anniversary is kind of reliving some of those original Spawn figure toy images that we used to have. It looks fine. I wish, of course, like some people say, and again, it's just a figure, maybe some mobility in the arms where you can move the arms. That's about it. Maybe the legs a little bit. That's all it is, but it's very stiff. It has not much articulation. I think it looks great, even if it's just for display, you know, just for the 30th anniversary. In my opinion, they look really, really good. Yeah, can you imagine Kenshiro Brothers doing the Spawn on the 3rd scale? Yeah, that would be awesome. And that's the thing. I don't know why Todd has decided to go on this route celebrating the 30th anniversary by just doing figures. I'm not sure if there's plans later in the year, maybe some reveals, maybe statues. It would be nice if they can do statues like even like 1/6 scale or quarter scale, or, you know, maybe 1/3. I'm sure they can do it, or even licensing other companies to do some of the products. You know, Todd has always been very, very protective of his license, and he likes to do things on his own terms. And, you know, these figures are nice and they really reach a big market. He's very successful at that. In the statues, you know, it's a bit riskier as a business, you know, enterprise. But yeah, there's still, I think there's a market and people will be willing to pay the price. Now, the one that I'm just very, very intrigued, the one that, well, let's keep that one for now, is this one, Spawn 311. That's another one, which I think is going to be very popular. I already sold that, I think, the one that came with the signature and all that. But even $24.99, I think it's a great figure. Of course, this is in memory of Chadwick Boseman. And just to give you an idea, this is actually cover 311 of Spawn. It wasn't his memory. He did this one more like, you know, Wakanda Forever. People were, I was going on social media, people were offended by this. Oh, you know, it's now he's trying to, you know, promote, you know, to black people doing it this time. People that they just like to comment. I was thinking like, dude, are you for real? You know, he's actually paying homage to a cover that he created in celebration of Chadwick Boseman's passing, which is also a great cover. And now they're making the figure, and I think the translation to the figure is fantastic. I wish it was a statue rather than, you know, even if it's just like, you know, like the other statues that he's been doing, they're close to 1/8 scale. It would be great, rather than just doing it, you know, as a small figure, like 7 inches figure. It's still a great looking one. Definitely, it's going to do well. I like the packaging. You can even keep it in the. I like it that even in the packaging, it looks great. So you don't really have to get out of the packaging. You can just keep it in the packaging, and I think it would be great for display. Very collectible, in my opinion. It looks fantastic. Even better that without the signature that he had here, because it's covering part of the statue. Let me see if I can show you what I'm saying. Going back to the one. Let's go back to the, let's see if he has him there. Oh, right there, you see? So if you get the autograph, which is the, you know, with a card, which is fine. Like, you would have to display like that, you know, and the signature, and it kind of takes away the sculpt. So you, at some point, you're going to have to get it out of the package. So I feel that that is not necessarily the greatest idea. I do like the packaging. I think he does sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think sometimes he does like some of that packaging where he does that actually you can put this stuff back together. You can put it back together. You don't have to break the packaging. So that is cool. Look at here, Spawn 311 with the signature on one side and the other one. That is sold out. I think it's a nice figure, and I think it's a great thing. I think he's doing that. Of course, during the 30 years of Spawn, you know, of this character, he has done so much stuff with the character. It's unbelievable. But the one that I was really into it, and I wanted to get, and probably I'm going to have to get at some point in the aftermarket for sure, is this one, which I think is so fun that he did this one. It's $69.99 for the one with the autograph, but there's the other version, of course. I think it was like $49 or something. So this is such a fantastic figure, and it's exclusive only to this website, and it is Todd right next to the original design of Spawn. This is the original design that he drew when he created the character as a kid, and the way he wanted, or as a young person, he decided to create this character. Ultimately, that Spawn, of course, changed over time, and the the whole character in the end, what he envisioned, of course, changed, and I think it was a fantastic change because I think Spawn is so legendary. The design, the concept is great. It doesn't need changes, you know. You can add a little this here and there, but still the same. But this is the original concept as he created as a young man, and I'm telling you, it still looks cool. And on the figure, looks great. And of Todd right there with his pen to do signatures, and he seems like he's in Comic-Con. Has the hat, the Spawn. It is a really nice figure set. I gotta be honest with you, it looks really cool. Let me see another picture here. Let me open that one. Look at that. You know, the likeness with Todd is there. I wouldn't say it's not 100%, but you know it's Todd. You can feel it. He looks great, and that original Spawn design looks great too. And it seems Todd is taller than Spawn. It seems like, yeah, actually he is there. It looks cool. It's such a great character. Sold out, unfortunately. Maybe we can see the video right there. Maybe we can see it right there. Look at that. Oh, I don't know. Trump showing up in my screen. I don't want to see Trump. New Spawn McFarlane Toy Third. Look at that. That's the figure. It comes with accessories and stuff. Okay, that was a very quick video. I don't know if you're able to see it there. Man, it's super cool that they're doing this one. 69 sold out today. Just went out on pre-order. I think at midday. I got the email. I look at the email. So, okay, cool. Let me see that, and I'll be back. I'll get it. And yeah, it's now sold out. However, they still have, like, if you want to buy them all as a bundle, you can still pre-order that bundle, and they all come together. I think that will be the option there, is to get it as a bundle. This bundle is still available just for the regular one. So I would say, you know, it's cool. It's cool to see Todd killing it with this, and he's selling well. I will definitely would like for him to start doing more statues. I think that's something that a lot of people are interested on, to see statues. Spawn is a character that, you know, with that history and how influential has been for comics, I think that, you know, we really want to see more of that. We want to see the character evolution and all of it. So yeah, that's what I have to say for that. All right, let me read some of the comments before we move to the next thing. All right, see it right there. Thank you again to all of you. Thank you very much. Warrior, thank you for stopping by, my friend. That looks nice. Don't send me down that rabbit hole, JP. I know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, there's a lot of things that I should stop collecting, but it's just like, oh my god, I just gotta do it. And you know, it brings back memories when, you know, like back in the day, you know, collecting when the Spawn came out with his figures. And you know, when you start seeing those figures in the late 90s, and then of course in the early 2000s, you know, the best figures you can find, and it was little statues, and it's just such a time, you know, like what Spawn did, you know, like the figures and how he changed the industry. And of course, even as statue collectors, we have to thank Todd for a lot of things that he did, because many people who I know, many artists that I know who I'm friends with and I talk to, they will tell you they started sculpting because they started collecting Spawn figures, and they wanted to imitate that. They wanted to be there, and they start kind of following, doing the monsters, doing the everything, the characters, and then start getting into the toy industry and all that, and the rest is history. Many people, they remember that those days, just looking at those figures, how realistic they were for the time. So yeah, it's yeah, we have a lot to thank Todd for it. All right, so let's move on, and I want to move on to let me take you. I'm gonna take you, just bear with me. We're going back to a Big Bad Toy Store. Here you can see, you can all actually order here. The only bad thing here is that they don't have the exclusive Todd and Spawn figure here. They have the others, but not the, you know, those two, which is a shame in my opinion. But here you can see more of those Spawn figures, and they have a lot in stock. You know, brings back memories. Yeah, I just wish that also we get statues for that. I think it's about time. But I wanna take you here because I wanna look at a company, which is this one, and I talked about it before. which is Flame Toys. Flame Toys is a company who specializes on Transformers, but also other figures, like other franchises, anything that has to do with mecha, with robots. They create these small, very small figures, which are die-cast. They come with a lot of die-cast parts. They come with light-ups. That's the reason they're not cheap. They're expensive. They're not that big. I wish they were bigger because they're asking for a lot of money for them. But they come with so many parts, and they're great. I will tell you, this company is great. And they also, you can find them at Sideshow. But here, we're gonna go to Sideshow in a moment. But here at Big Bad Toy Store, you can see, for example, this one. This is the Kuro car. It's Kuro car Kuri. That's how they call it. It's a drift figure. Of course, they sometimes they base this on interpretations of the comics, a lot of the IDW stuff, and they do their own versions. And I'm telling you, this figures kind of give you an idea of the scale. It's $119, which is not cheap, and it's only 8 inches tall. It's not a big figure. It's made out of plastic and die-cast, so it has those two elements. Cape comes with wires built in to allow for dramatic anime-style windswept poses. Linkage articulation features. Contains 6 LED units, superposable with die-cast parts for solidity and heaviness. These are not like your average model figures of robots. These, they're heavier. And I never had the opportunity to touch one, but I've seen many videos of them. I've seen a lot of the presentations, and they look fantastic. And they are so poseable. You can come up with so many different things. As you can see, it comes with a lot of accessories and weapons, and with the light-up features that look fantastic. Yes, this is not necessarily something for everyone. You have to really be well invested into it and willing to pay the price. Look at the cape. It has its own cape. Very ninja-like. Very anime-like. And of course, they don't transform. Some people may be not happy with that. But in the end, it's a purpose is just to build these figures, and build this army of anime, manga style, which in this case, mecha style figures. So this is one, of course, Flame Toys. Here you can see. Now look at this. The Transformer Warfare Service. I have that figure. Let me show you this another one. These are the ones that they already have. I look and see the prices. They got this one. They are in stock. Look at the stuff they have. They got the Shattered Glass Megatron. Of course, if you're into the comics, then you're more familiar with all these different variations and stuff, which is there's plenty. I grew up with the classic, 80s cartoon. I remember the 80s movie. I love the classic stuff, but that doesn't mean that the Transformers die out there. There's a development. They have grown. Look at the light up features, LED lights. And they're so, it's a culture. It's a big, huge culture in Japan. And so many people are into it. So this is almost $500. That is an expensive figure that is only 8.27 inches. Not even 9 inches tall. It's just huge. The price I'm talking about. Here you have the Nemesis Prime. You have this like Jazz. Jazz always been one of my favorite characters. Look at Jazz. They tweak, they make it look cool. That Jazz looks really cool. So definitely, again, it's based on the comics, IDW primarily, and a lot of the anime, manga stuff. They're very poseable. Now, we can disagree about the price, and we can say that they are asking for too much. They have this price high because they are very successful. They do sell, and they do sell well, particularly in Asia. But I think that there is a big market now happening here in the United States. They have their reissue. This has been couple times has come out and has been sold out, and they reissue again. This is Optimus Prime. Again, this version of Optimus looks really sleek, really cool, very sweet. The light up features are really nice. Very expensive figure for sure. Comes with his weapons. You can come up with so many different poses. Definitely great for those who love to do toy photography. Yeah, this is a very, very cool figure. $3.99 for those who are interested. You can see other ones that they have. They have the Jet Power Armor Prime, Optimus Prime Jet Power Armor sold out. They got the Kuro Victory Leo. I think this is from, what is that? Voltron. And then they have I talked about this one a long time ago. I talked about the Kurokari Rodimus IDW version. This is one that I did talk about, I remember, here on the channel some time ago. Sold out. Really nice figure. A lot of die-cast elements. Very, very well done. Look at the weapons. The mecha style is super cool. They do a flame toys, that's amazing. But let me tell you to Sideshow, because you can find them at Sideshow as well. You know, Sideshow also has been carrying these figures. And I'm going to kind of give you an idea. We're gonna come here. I'm gonna look at a lot of the stuff here. We're gonna look at this bus Optimus in just a moment. But let me put let me just input flame toys right there. Actually, they don't have him here. Oh, cool. Well, that give you an idea. The flame toys, you can find it. Now, I'm coming to Sideshow. Now, good thing that we're here. There is one company that is this one right here. And the interesting thing about this one, this is Unix Square. Unix Square is actually a division, if I'm not saying, an enterprise that actually is even a sister company of Flame Toys. There's actually different companies. Kids Logic, another company that does a lot of models. We also have Sentinel, Sentinel Toys. They do a lot of also anime stuff, a lot of mecha stuff, models too. And Flame Toys, you know, and now this Unix Square, for those, just to give you an idea, because, you know, something that I really find out recently too. They're all part of the same. They're all under the same banner, the same umbrella of companies. So technically, you're buying from the same company, from the same factories. This is a bus. This is not a huge bus. It's only 6.3 inches tall. It is priced $109 is not a bad price. It's just a bus. It's a mini bus. That's pretty much it. It's not a full bus. But this is a pretty cool bus. This is the first figure that they're selling in this line. The first figure they announced it for this company. And I'm telling you, it looks great. You can see it's not big. 6'3". It's around the same height of the mini bus from Gentle Giant. So it's not a big one. But it has movable parts. I think it has die-cast elements as well. I think it does have maybe some light-up features. Yeah, it does have. It appears that it has some light-up features. It's really cool. So if you're looking for something for your office, something for your desk, or for some small place to display, definitely this is. And I think the price is really fair. It's not super expensive. It's really well done. Being the start, you know. Hopefully they do a Megatron too. It would be nice to have a Megatron alongside. It's a really nice concept. It has a little modern touch, but definitely it's Optimus Prime through and through. That can show you, give you ideas of the design. Looks really great. I think, of course, he has some movable parts. And here you can see, doesn't have, it's a mini bus without the arms, but I think it looks great. Doesn't weigh much. As you can see, it's not that big of a bus, but again, this is part of the company. Just to give you an idea, if we go to Flame Toys on Facebook, here you can see Flame Toys. A lot of the figures, just to give you an idea about the stuff they do, look at the stuff they do. They have a lot of different figures, again, on the same scale. The stuff that there is going to come this year, we're gonna see on pre-orders this year. So you're really into this mechanized type of things, very modern. You know, I think this is a great time to get into. Also, they got the Pacific Rim, Gypsy Danger. They have some. Here, just the bus that we saw. Again, like all these companies are sister companies, so they're gonna be promoting themselves each other with all these products, and they're all part of the same. So it's kind of cool. You know, there is a market here. You can see a version of Voltron. Very nice Voltron version. Of course, this is the concept art. This is the parts that come together. I think this was sold by Kids Logic. But all these companies, again, you know, they produce really interesting looking things for those who are interested. So, yeah, I just wanted to point out, just to keep an eye on this company. So you can see also they have that. Let me give you an idea for those who will be interested. Kids Logic. Right there, Kids Logic. Anime Toys. They do also a lot of mechanized things. You can see they got the micros. They do a lot of the more classic stuff. You know, so they do Robotech models. A lot of toys, a lot of mechanized toys. Look at that. Little things too. But yeah, they're all the same company. You know, they all... this also, like, you can... even all this... look at this one. This is all by Kids Logic, but if I'm not mistaken, this is... What is it? Beast Kingdom. And I think they all, even Flame Toys, all of that, they're connected to Beast Kingdom. So Beast Kingdom and all those companies, they're all pretty much the same company. Kids Logic is technically a toy company, but they also create their own models. And then you also have Sentinel toys. Maybe we can see that. Maybe we can see it here. Well, we don't see it there, but Sentinel toys, they also do their stuff here. You can see a lot of the stuff that Sentinel does, and all part of Flame Toys. They have a big market. You can see Sentinel Toys, Flame Toys, they're the same company. They do Gurren Lagann, they do like a lot of things. A lot of model kits, a lot of stuff. So just to give you an idea of what these companies are doing, it's really cool to see what how the market is evolving, and there's always so much room for a lot of collectibles for a lot of people. Now, while I have you here, you know, on Sideshow, let me go back, and we're still on the Transformer kind of thing. You know, we're still talking about Transformer stuff. Let me show you. Okay, so I think we came out a little too. So let's go to the main one. So later releases, it's easier to find them that way. There's another Transformer thing, but from a different company. And this is Threezero. This is Thundercracker MDLX. Now, you know, Threezero is a good company. They've been producing a lot of this, also this figures, also with the same vein of that modern touch. And now this is the turn of Thundercracker, $120. I think it's a fair price. Now, to give you an idea of the size of this figure, the details here, it is, let's see, it's 7.8. It's a little taller than the other ones, the ones that we just saw. It's just a little bit taller, an inch more in comparison to the others. But yeah, they also come with the same vein. They're very poseable. They come with accessories, different weapons. I think the price is even better. So if I have to say, if I have to have the money to invest into something like this, I would go with Threezero rather than going with the other one. I think Threezero also has a lot of plastic parts. I think that there are some die-cast elements in it. Let me look at that. Let me see what we see. Yeah, it does have zinc alloy, which that means die-cast. That's what it is for those who are unfamiliar with die-cast. Technically, you get die-cast parts. Of course, you get ABS, you get plastic, you get a lot of plastic parts that look like metal too that is used. Metal alloys, but zinc technically alloy is technically also an alloy of certain plastic elements, but also mostly is what is used for die-cast models. So yeah, it's really cool. It doesn't transform in the vehicle, of course, but it's poseable. And it looks really great. I was looking at the pictures and I liked how poseable it is. You can come up with so many different things. And you can see right there. Very, very cool. So it does have very nice elements there. And just to give you an idea about what Threezero is doing, here you can see the other figures that they have. Of course, we talk about Threezero all the time, and here you can see a lot of these figures we have the opportunity. But looking at Transformers, you can see all the different Transformers that they have done. Of course, they have done the big ones, very large ones. But I think with the smaller ones that they do, because the deluxe size, I think they are bigger. And then the MDLX, I think it's more medium size. So I like the MDLX, and you can see they have a lot of pre-orders, and of course they have the big ones. When you're looking for the deluxe, you know, and then I think the other one is medium deluxe. That's what they call it. The deluxe versions are really huge, and the medium deluxe are more, you know, within the 7-inch or something. They have the Bumblebee MDLX. I think one that I really like is this one, Side Sweep. This one is on pre-order right now. $80. I don't think it's bad. I really like the detail. Definitely has the IDW style of comics. We call it IDW, but that's just the new comics, the new wave of comics that have been created. And of course, right, mostly are published now, of course, they're published officially here in America by IDW. But there's, of course, other companies that have done stuff, and this is more modern style. and it's been known mostly as IDW, but you know, it's just the modern renditions of the characters. So that's not bad. Here you can see, and they have, of course, Thundercracker. We had a Skywarp, a Starcream MDLX. That looks great. I think it's not a bad one too. So you can build. Now, you want something bigger, look at the deluxe version of Bumblebee from the Transformers Rise of the Beast, which is a fantastic movie. Just to give you an idea of the size of this one, this is the height, well, the box size there. The height of the product size is 8 inches. Of course, it's not that big of a figure, but that is because, hey, you know, it's you know, it's not a big character in comparison with Optimus Prime. You go to Optimus Prime, you pay $235, but Optimus is almost 12 inches tall, so it's within the 1/6 scale range. It's a 1/6 scale figure. Well, it's not a 1/6 scale figure, of course, but it's within the range of 1/6 scale figures. So it will be as tall as, even taller than some Hot Toys. So yeah, it's technically within the same side. So you're looking at that and the scale differences there. And of course, they have done bigger scales in the past, bigger figures that were almost on the same height of a quarter scale. They have done that before. They look great. I think this is a company, again, Threezero is a company that is doing these figures. It's good that they're doing this. I like the pre-orders they have. Very nice. I've seen many of them. I've seen how well built they are, and that is good. So it's nice to see companies doing this. All right, so let's continue on because the night is fresh and we still got some way to go. We're still within the figures, but I'm gonna take you now to Mondo, because Mondo had a great release this week that did really so well, which is the Rogue 1/6 scale figure. Now this is the regular one on sale because the limited edition is sold out. So we're gonna look at Rogue here. That's the regular version, $210. The one that sold out so quickly, they were only 1,000. I don't know why they decided to only build 1,000, because to be honest, Rogue is a character that sells. You know, it's a popular character from the animated series. You know, the version of that version that they're representing here. So I don't know. I think they shot themselves on the foot by just doing that. They could have done a lot more. But here it is. It's a limited edition. We're only 1,000 made, which sucks. It's around 11.75 inches tall, so it's within the, you know, the 1/6 scale. And we're gonna look at the pictures. Now, I love the likeness of this figure. This collection, the X-Men collection, has been so good. I think right now it's right there. I wouldn't say on par yet with Masters of the Universes, but it's getting so close. The Masters of the Universe collection has been, I think, the best collection that they have produced ever. But right now, the X-Men are really giving it a run for its money. I think the X-Men collection has the potential to dethrone the Masters of the Universe collection. And it depends on what else they invest, if they create more characters, what else they bring into the table. So far, they have done really well. And that's great. I think Mondo's doing great with this. This figure looks fantastic. Of course, some people say it's kind of like a Marvel Legends, but it's a bigger scale. I think this is better than the Marvel Legends, even better than the X-Men 97 figure that just came out recently, that, to be honest with you, I wasn't crazy about. I think it was lacking a lot. This is such a great figure. Some people were saying that, like, they wish that also Mondo was doing the 1/12 scale figures, which is the Marvel Legends size. They wish they were doing those, so they're able to, you know, to kind of build those collections there. It's a possibility. I think Mondo could do it if they want to, but I'm not sure if they have the license or the right to do it, because at the end of the day, a lot of these companies, even Marvel Legends Hasbro, has an international license to produce a certain scale. I think it's at a scale that is untouchable. That's the reason why Diamond Select doesn't produce 1/12. They produce something bigger than that. They produce like 7 inches, and everyone has a different way to name their own thing, and it's just to try to stay away from that. But you never know. You can get something like that. I think it's a great figure. This is what made the difference on the exclusive version. Hey, Squad Captain, how are you? Oh, thank you very much, my friend. Thanks for supporting the gaming channel. Yeah, it was fun. And let's see if this weekend I do something else. I've been thinking about playing Star Wars Battlefront, because Battlefront 2. Now that the news of the classic Battlefronts are coming back, I'm looking forward to those. But maybe I play some Star Wars. I've been in the mood to playing some Star Wars. But here, going back to this, when you can see the X-Men animated series, the Rogue. This is what comes with exclusive. It comes, of course, the Sentinel head, which is destroyed. That is a nice display. It comes with the. I love this portrait, and it sucks that they decide to give this as an exclusive with the winking eye and the smile, because that is so Rogue that, in my opinion, that should be part of the regular version, and then the angry version should be on the exclusive. I think they kind of, they should swap it, because I think this is, when I think about Rogue, I think of her serious, of course, here, but also think of her as a very very charming, always kind of like flirty. She's flirty. I don't know why, you know, they couldn't just get the flirting face to the regular version. And then they went with the power, you know, the bright eyes, and then they have the more modern version, which was late 90s, but also the one that was used, I think, on the later show, on the X-Men show that came later in the 2000s. It seems like that phase of that particular, which is, I love that X-Men animated series, so that the one that came in the later, I think that's a nice face portrait. I'm not sure why they decided to give it. I don't remember that she had that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she had the portrait like this at some point within the animated series. I don't remember, maybe in a later season. But here you can see a difference of the scale. It looks great. That sculpt is fantastic. I don't know who sculpted, but whoever did it. And maybe we can go through the notes and look at the sculptor. They did a fantastic job. It looks fantastic. And then with the angry portrait and the power in her arm and that base, very nice. And definitely, the one thing that is true, they added the cake. And you know what? You have to have the cake. If you have Rogue, you have to have the cake. If you don't have the cake, then I'm sorry, then that's not Rogue, that's something else. So that's pretty good. So they did that on the figure. Look at that. Yeah, she has the cake. That's good. I think that's the way you're supposed to do it. You know, nowadays, of course, they try to cancel everything. But hey, it is what it is, you know. For a lot of us, we were in love back then. So here you go. Look at that. That's a nice picture. But yeah, the figure looks great. Of course, you know, it's a uber size. I will tell you one thing that I noticed, and I do with the Massive Universe figures that I have from Mondo, is that it's hard sometimes to display because the joints are so stiff, you know, hard to do. You know, yeah, you can do a couple of things, but sometimes you're afraid that you're gonna break them. So it's not like the best for mobility. They're not like cat toys in that way. But yeah, you know, you can come up with some poses. Try not to force them though. But here you go. You can see the power. That is a nice, you know, nice portrait. This is a nice one too. Definitely nice photograph right there. She looks great. Nice paint. They did a fantastic job. And also they have also Gambit. They reissue Gambit. There's a new they have the Gambit when it came out, the limited edition. I didn't get that one, but now they have the regular version back again. And I think it's great to have this both. I think there's a fantastic look at what they're doing here. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. I've always Gambit playing with fire right there. He wants to big shock, you know, with Rogue's power. He wants to be the power, I guess. But here you got very nice. They did a fantastic job with this figure. Look at the face. It looks great. Now, I'm not necessarily a fan of this hands. The hands, this joint hands, this little ball joints that they use for the hands. But they use it with a lot of figures. Now, this is, you can play a scene that she's destroying a weapon. She's on the fight. Oh, this is a nice picture. This is money. This is money. You know, I was looking at that because you see the X-Men 97 right now. People are saying that Rogue, they did a disservice to Rogue. At least some of the little shots that we have seen the Rogue, she looks like she has no cake or she has no body. Like, I think they took everything. I guess they feel that the original was too sexualized and they too sexual for kids or whatever. I don't know. But I think that most people that are going to be watching the show are not kids. They're just adults who grew up watching the original cartoon. At this point, I was a teenager when that happened. So it's like, you know, like I didn't bother me at all. So I don't feel like, okay, whatever. But yeah, it looks great. You know, like the figure looks great. At least, you know, Mondo knows where that's the money shot. Mondo knows that this is what sells this product. And, you know, the other day, you want the figure to look good and sexy. That's the way it is. All right, here. She is kicking the crap out of Sabretooth. That That looks great. Nice picture. Oh, here, of course, Omega Red. That is a nice Omega Red. Very nice figure. They, you know, this is, I think, in my opinion, I will tell you this. I think Gambit is perhaps the best so far in the collection. So far. I think they all have their strengths. But I think Rogue and Gambit is the perfect. Even if you don't have all, at least you have to have Gambit and Rogue, in my opinion. I think those are the two, the most in this collection, which is great. Nice portrait. Here are all the figures so far that have been released. Magneto, Wolverine. Some people complain about the height of Wolverine. I think it's fine. I think people are trying to compare the comic, but this is more based on the animated series, and he was a bit taller in the animated series than he was on the comic book. So so you have to keep that in perspective. This is what it represents, not the 90s Jim Lee comics. It's talking about, this is the 90s animated series that in many ways took also inspiration from Jim Lee, but also did it its own thing. And they changed some things in the art. They make a couple adjustments. Looks great. Now I do see like this joint here to rotate that leg on that feet. I'm not necessarily a fan of that because that can break. That could be one that you have to be very careful. I'm not necessarily a fan of that, that joint right there, the way the joint is and the rotation of it. Plenty pictures to go around. I think, again, they did a fantastic job with this one. Oh, I look at this one. You can actually, interchangeable hands, and this hand, you can actually hold the glove. That is cool. And all the different accessories, different hands for different poses. That base, again, is just for the exclusive. That's a nice picture, too. Very nice. Very nice. They did a fantastic job. Here, you can see a shot of all the figures. Very nice figure. This collection is good. Even that Sabretooth looks great. Look at how massive he is. And I didn't know that Omega Ray was that tall in the collection. It's pretty tall there. More spread out. Oh, it was just they're around the same height of, kind of. I think he's the tallest, yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is a great collection. And again, this is sold out, unfortunately, which is a shame. I don't know why they decide just, instead of, in other cases, to have a very open edition and, live a time window like they have done in the past. And it has always been successful with successful characters. It was successful with Skeletor. It was successful with He-Man. They could have done the same thing here. I don't know why they decided just to go with a few and just sell it in just a matter of hours. I think that was just kind of dumb. If I know that I'm going to sell a product, I'm going to sell as many as I can. And that's how you make money. They're going to make millions of dollars out of this easily. Because I'm sure a lot of people would be just jumping on it right away. Not only buying one, buying two or more. I've seen like with the Skeletor that just came out, many people bought plenty of Skeletors, like 2 or 3 to have different displays. Some people are willing to go the extra mile and with characters that really sell. And I think Rogue is one of those characters. So yeah, this is just a regular version. So it's the same thing. Only a couple of things are missing, of course, some of the things that we saw. But for the most part, it's good. I just wish he had the more flirty face portrait with that one. That would be even better, in my opinion. So too bad that they couldn't just get it. But maybe eventually I'll get it. Maybe they do another special. Maybe I'll get it in the aftermarket. Time will tell. All right. So, my friends, I'm looking at this. I like the art style on the figures. I do too. Danny's pancakes. Oh yeah. yeah, with extra butter too. Brewing up something with Rogue and Gambit. Yeah, Sideshow's doing it too. We talked about it last week. They have the new thing. So there's a statue. There's a couple of things. As a matter of fact, we're gonna talk later in the night. Iron Studios just reveal 1/10 scale statues. So yeah, there's, I think we're gonna see a lot of companies doing more of them, and that's where the money's at. It's popular, and I think I'm really hoping for this TV show to really bring more, the desire for people to get more into the X-Men, which means that more opportunities for companies to start selling products. So we'll see what happens. All right, so now that we did this, let me go to Sideshow, back to Sideshow. And the reason we go back to Sideshow, we're still looking at figures. We're still on the 1/6 scale figures. I want to look at Hot Toys. We're gonna talk about Beetlejuice in just a moment. That will be next. But right now I want to talk about Ashoka Tano Padawan. This is of course based on the Ashoka TV show. Some people have mixed feelings about the TV show. I like the TV show. I think it had potential. Like, there are a couple of things that I like very much. Not sure if things were left out just for second season or whatever. I think it has its good things. I think it still I felt that there was a lot to be desired, but in the moments that it was good, it was good. And there were a couple of things that it was more like that I wasn't too crazy about, but for the most part, I enjoy the show. I did enjoy it. So, of course, if you have watched it, if you haven't watched it, this is the Ashoka. This is the actress who portrayed a young Ashoka Tano in the show. I will tell you, I prefer the one that was for the animated series, because that's how the character was introduced. I like that one. I think Sideshow did that figure, not Hot Toys, but Sideshow. It's a great figure to have, because that's the Ashoka Tano I remember. But if you're watching the TV series on Ashoka, then definitely they did a fantastic job. The portrait, it looks like the girl that portrayed the character. I don't know how old she is. She's not that tall. Of course, it's only 10 inches tall. But it comes with all the different effects. Definitely looks like her. So I would say they have done a fantastic. I love the color of her skin. It's very nice. It's a jointless arm, so it doesn't have joints. It's more like a natural one. That's great. I like that you see on this figure. So of course, this is the difference between what you see with this and Mondo, that you can see the joints in Mondo, but that is the purpose of that figure, to be like that. With Hot Toys, they're going into the more realistic route, and that means that to reduce all the visibility, everything that can tell you that there's a seam. There's no seams. It's seamless arms, and that's great. You know, it looks great. I think that the job, I'm not sure about the eyes, but it seems that the eyes might rotate, because they seem to be in different positions. Let me see if we can see it up close. Yeah, so those eyes are movable, which is great. Fantastic job, even with the goggles. Nice base. It's a classic base, simple, but it works, you know, for, you know, what they do for Hot Toys. It's a classic Star Wars base. It's not bad, actually. Look at there with the, was that Captain Rex? Nice portrait. Separate rolling eyeballs. Yeah, so it does move around. So yeah, it's a pretty good figure. I like the even the clothing with the way they did it. A specialized body with silicone arms and seamless joints. That's great. I like the tailoring on the suit. It looks really nice. That's a nice job. I think Hot Toys has gotten to a place where it's just better and better. Highly detailed custom design and accessories. And here you have, of course, everything that comes with it. I think it's a nice figure. Again, Hot Toys knows how to sell a product, and their figures are coming better and better. I think 255 is within the range of what they're selling now with the figures. Not everyone will be interested on this one, but if you're already building that, and you know, there's a lot of fans of Hot Toys, particularly those people that invest so much on Star Wars, that definitely that is for them. You know, I think it's a great thing for them. All right, so this is kudos to them. I like it. Now let's talk about the figure, in my opinion, one of the ones that captivated me today, which in this case is Turn Up the Juice, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, it's a great figure. Now, just kind of giving a perspective, when you look about this, I was kind of doing looking at some of the details, because I remember watching Beetlejuice. I love the film when it came out. The film came out in 1988, so you know, I even forget about that. It came out a year prior to Batman. It was the first time that Michael Keaton and Tim Burton worked together in a project. They didn't know each other well, or in this case, Tim Burton didn't know Michael Keaton well. But it's such a fantastic film. It was a project that was very unique, very different. But the whole concept, the horror, humor, all of that, it was a great movie, in my opinion. It was a kicker. It was different. It was unique. It was Tim Burton. It was Michael Keaton portraying this, you know, it's just a crazy, fun movie, weird movie of the era. And then, of course, actually, as far as I know, Tim Burton was trying to work Batman, but you know they didn't have the green light, so he needed technically to kind of showcase that he could do it or something. And then this the opportunity came to do Beetlejuice, which was also came out of nowhere. It was no people weren't expecting much out of this film, but this was a success. I think they invested, I was reading, like $15 million in production, and they make 75, which at that time was too much. It was a lot of money to make out of a movie. And then of course became a cult classic, which still sells to this day well. So you know, it's like, it was like the guarantee. That's what really put him there. People say, well, okay, we can do something. This is bankable. So they kind of gave him the green light to do the stuff that he did with his Batman version, which at this point in 1989 Batman is a classic. So in many ways, it's a classic. And with the same actor, Michael Keaton, who did a fantastic job too. For many, it's the real Batman, or the Batman they think of as the real Batman. To me, you know, he's great. But yeah, I think Beetlejuice was that. And I think this is, to be honest, it's nice to see figures like this. It's unique. Like something that normally maybe Hot Toys wouldn't touch, because Hot Toys like to touch, you know, the things that are Marvel, DC, all the stuff in the cinema. This type of kind of dormant franchises, or the ones that are more cult classics and nobody really, you know, Hot Toys is not going to touch. But the fact that Sideshow is doing it, and I think they do it fantastic, and they've always been good at doing this kind of the weird stuff with the monsters or the things like that, and the weirdness. Sideshow's good at that. That's technically how they started, when back in the day, before statues, you know, made in dolls and figures from horror movies and stuff. I think this is great. I think it's a fantastic job. Even like I saw the video. I don't know if you saw the video where, you know, the presentation. I think the figure looks fantastic. Love the tailoring. The hands look great. One always comparison has been the quality of the QC of the figures. It's always been more on the Hot Toy side than on the Sideshow side, so there's always been that concern. Sometimes some of the figures, even the likeness is not as great in the end. But I think that, you know, Hot Toys have gotten better. I'm sorry, not Hot Toys, but Sideshow has gotten better with their figures. And the amount of posters you can do with this one is great, I think, in my opinion. So if you're into it, it's a weird figure for sure. It's not for everyone. But to me, this is a great, you know, it's weird and unique. And that is great. $280. I think it's a great figure. Now, let me give you an idea who was Nancy. I don't know who Nancy is. That's no last name. Nam-Hoon Kim, sculptor. Mike Tolentino is the designer. Won Lee, the design and paint. Anthony Mestis is the designer. Rick Lova's design. Mian Nam-Yoon, custom fabrication. And the Sideshow design development team. So I'm guessing they work with some people that also work, you know, with Hot Toys, because they don't have this partnership with Hot Toys. It seems to me they're working with people in China. So, hey, you know, it doesn't look bad. I think it's a nice sculpt. The face is great. And yeah, I think you can do a lot of good things with this figure. So it's not a bad thing. I think they did a really nice job with it. So that's great. That's great. All right, so yeah, cult classic that goes with the most. Yeah, it's just a movie. Like I'm telling you, I haven't watched Beetlejuice in such a long time. It's been like years since last time I watched that film. I don't think I've ever watched it, maybe a couple times in my life. But every time it's been such a fantastic movie. I think it was we also have as soon as I remember, we had a VHS. I think we have the first VHS. One of the features that we have in our collection was that, and we watched it. I think I could watch a couple times. Still a movie that I have so much fun, and I haven't really watched it in a very long time. Maybe I haven't watched it in over 20 years. But it still have fun memories. I still enjoy it. Winona Ryder was there too, and you know, you have all these people. Many great actors too, so you got a great cast, and the whole event, the whole movie was weird, but it was fun, weird, and I wish we get more movies like that. You know, even though I'm not a horror type of person, I don't like weird stuff. I'm not really into weird stuff, but sometimes some stuff is well done. You know, this also, you know, remember the animated series that came out, that was kind of weird too, and then you have video games, so it's been popular. So there's no mistake on that. All right, so it's been cool. Low-key style, yeah. Oh, I said something like that before. We're going to take a break. I'm going to take a break from figures, but before I take the break, let me go back to do something, because I didn't see this on Mondo, and I said that I would do, and I forgot to do it. I want to know who. I think I have an idea who sculpted this. And I didn't say Arctic. Like right there, Alex Brewer, Dan Vesenmeyer, and Thomas Rosajowski. Those are the sculptors of this. So pretty cool. I just wanted to kind of point that out because I skip it. Oops, sorry, I went into to the other thing. But in any case, it's cool to see what these companies are doing. Definitely, it's very, very, very fun to see companies doing this type of thing. Beetlejuice is a character, and I wish, you know, we can get to see more. You know, it's the same thing. We always see Marvel with DC. We always see the same franchises. It seems like it's a rotation of the same thing. The Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But there are a lot of franchises that deserve to be revived. And of course, there's some movie coming out later in the year. The revival of Beetlejuice. Not sure how good that's going to be. But yeah, there's a revival of it. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, my friends, let me take a break. We finished with our figures for the night. All the figures. So we're going to start now with statues. Of course, we're going through scales. And we're going to start with the, you know, the smaller scales. And we're going to move up. But yeah, we still got... we still have Iron Studios to go. They did a lot of stuff. We have Enesco. We have Diamond Select Toys, Gentle Giant. We got Tsume Art. Figurama Collectors, Tweeterhead, Sideshow Collectibles, Prime1 Studio, PCS, and Regal Robots. So just give me a few minutes and I'll be right back. And thank you for your support.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Better off, better off. I am wicked, you're insane. But I wouldn't have it any other way. If we're knocked out, we'll go the distance. Pound for pound, we're a perfect match. Pulling punches, we're toe to toe. We're always on the road. We're so better. We can't stop, we can't stop. Us together, we're better off. And we can. Better off, better off. Better off. I am crooked, you're clean cut. I'm wide-eyed, your eyes are shut. If we're knocked out, we'll go the distance. Pound for pound, we're a perfect match. Pulling punches, or toe to toe. We're always on the road. We're so better. We can't stop, we can't stop. 'Cause together, better off. And we can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm not the girl that I used to be. Sometime I'm more than worse. I'm beyond what I once was. I don't believe in love. Hey, hey. If I chances. I don't care if I am fancy brighter. Yeah, yeah, oh boy, I'm telling goodbye, I'm telling goodbye. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling goodbye, I'm telling goodbye. Chances, I don't care if I am fancy brighter. Yeah, yeah, oh boy, I'm telling goodbye, I'm telling goodbye. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling goodbye, I'm telling goodbye.
All right, I'm back. Thank you for the opportunity. They take a little break. I just grabbed something quick to eat and had to use the restroom, all that. But hey, going to the notes, it's late night right there. It says Beetlejuice is watched religiously every year. So you watch it every year. I think it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I haven't watched it all the time, but I'm probably gonna do it if that next movie coming out. I want to watch the. Kind of refresh my memory about the movie, but you know, it was just fun. It was a lot of things that were so fun about that movie back then. You know, it was out of the blue. Like I never expected to be that great of like when I remember when I watched it, this type of Beetlejuice, and I said, let's watch it. And you know, I was just a kid back then in the 80s. So I couldn't remember exactly how old I was. I was around 10 years old when it came out. It was 10. You know, I was born in 1978. So I was 10. I was a kid. And I remember my parents let me watch it. It's just like, you know, back in the day, there was not as much as nowadays, like what you watch, you know, just let you watch whatever. All right, so we're back and we're going back to start talking about, gonna be talking about statues. That's why we're back here. So let's get in. And we're gonna start first, of course. Here, a good thing we are here at Sideshow because we're gonna cover Iron Studios. Iron Studios was going to be the company that we're going to start with, and again, they do the Iron Studios Day or whatever they do every last Friday of the month, and they do all the releases. I will tell you honestly, I do prefer the way they did it before when it was weekly releases. I prefer when they did it every releases every Friday or every Thursday. To be honest with you, I enjoy it more. I felt that it was a much better way to do it than just kind of bunch them all together on one single week. But I guess it's because they do the live stream, all that, which is a very popular live stream. It's a lot of thousands of viewers and stuff. A lot of people are watching it. So that's great. So it means that there's a popularity. Of course, it's translated, but mostly in Portuguese. So it does have a big following in Brazil. But I think internationally people are also following. But we're gonna go to this. A couple of things here that the Millennium Falcon. This is the Maggle floating whatever. This is from Beast Kingdom. We're not gonna talk about it. I think it's too expensive, and it's always been expensive. And this is it's a very small replica that floats. And Beast Kingdom has done this several times, like many times. This is the newest version, but it's the same thing. It's redone. The bad thing about that one that uses batteries, it doesn't have like a USB charge. It's the same model as they did before. It's nothing new, and I think it's too expensive for what it really is. Also, looking at this, $180 for this figure. This is like a 7-inch figure, 8-inch figure. This is, of course, for the, you know, Halo and all that stuff. I think it's too expensive for what they're asking, and this is by 1,000 Toys, 100 Toys. I forgot, I forgot the name of this brand. So we gotta skip those. We gotta skip a lot of things that we don't feel like, okay, this is something that we want to spend time with. But I want to cover this right here. First, we're gonna start with Raven. We're gonna continue going up. This is for from Teen Titans, of course, $235. I will tell you, it's really a nice depiction of Raven. The face is very youthful. I wish it was more in line with, with the portrayal of Raven from George Perez from the Teen Titans, but he does have some of that, particularly when he has the cloak, on top of her. When he covers her eyes, you can see that looks more like George Perez. He does have some of it, and he has like ravens coming from her and her power. I think they did a fantastic job in the depicting Raven here. It's tall because it's 12 inches. Because of that, it's a 1/10 scale. I think they did a great job. Swappable portraits, of course. Very youthful, very young. This is, of course, a nice picture. Very unique for fans of this. I'm not sure if they're trying to revive the Teen Titans with more modern. They're going for the more modern style, or at least a modern rendition. The paint job is very, very different. Very cool. You are into, I think this is. It's a very well done figure, and I think I will tell you one thing that I notice every October. Oh, that's when you watch Beetlejuice every October. That's cool. That's a good month to watch it for sure. I need to do the same. But here, and talking about horror things, of course, you can see Raven. I think one thing I would say about Iron Studios is that they, you know, like Iron Studios does fantastic female portraits or female sculpts as a whole for 110, and to be honest, that's great for 110. A lot of the statues that I seen 110, they're not that big, but the level of detail that they do, and particularly with the female characters, is great. So the company does good. Now, price point, people will say, well, that's too expensive, but compared to other things that they have sold on this scale, like the Disney stuff, I think this is doable in comparison. I don't think it's a bad price, and I'm sure they will probably end up also in a special sale at some point. Now, the next one they have is the last Ronin, and I think this is the last figure in this collection they started, also 110. $205, I think it's an excellent price, starting point. I do like what they chose on top of this roof, with this type of pagoda roof. I think it's a fantastic choice for the base. It's very nice, very well detailed. I think it's a perfect depiction. I think he looks phenomenal. Very cool. I don't know how far they're gonna go with this collection, with this, but I think they did a really nice job. And you can see it has the different bandanas, different colors. Of course, this is, if you have never read, I'm sorry if I'm gonna spoil it for you, but this is actually Michelangelo, and he's trying to avenge his brothers, you know, the fallen brothers. So it's really cool. I think it's a nice touch. Depiction wise, it's not a big piece. I think they did a terrific job with it. I love the vase, I love the colors, I love the choice that they went for. Very cool. I've been collecting the figures from NECA, which I think are phenomenal, but this is a nice 110 scale sculpt. And again, look at the detail, the paint job on that base is really excellent, on that roof, on that pagoda style roof. So it's really cool. Another reveal that they have now, of course, is based on the X-Men 97, which right now everybody's waiting. We saw the trailer this week. Exciting news. Have still some doubts with some of the things I saw in the trailer. I think not necessarily crazy about the way they depicted Magneto. I love more classic Magneto, but whatever. But let's start first. Like you can see let's start first with Cyclops. Look at Cyclops. Of course, he has the cell shading, which some people may not be happy with, but they try to depict in this case the art of the show. Although I feel that the cell shading is a bit too strong here, but this is not really based on the comic. This is based on the cartoon, on the new animated series. It looks great. I think it's not a bad choice. Look at the cell shading also on the base. They go into with that. It looks really nice there with the color. I think at a distance it's gonna look good. It's a very classic pose, very simple. It's a good choice. You cannot go wrong with a simple pose like this. That doesn't look bad. So it's $125, which I think is an even greater price, better than the Raven. I think this is the way you want to start a collection, by selling it at a really good price point. Of course, it's a simple base. It's a simple depiction. So if they go crazier than that, then they shouldn't be. I think that they went with the right price. Now, Gambit. Also, cell shading. Looks great. Talking about Gambit. I like that figure from Mondo, but this is another thing. If you're not into figures, you want into collect into statues. 110 scale, so it's 90 inches tall. It's not that big, but I think it's also a great choice. It has his staff. It has the same base, which I think in this collection is going to be the standard. I think they're going to go for more museum poses with this collection. Also great choice. Very well done. You know, I would say with the base is simple. It would be nice if they would have made like the yellow or something, more of the classic red and yellow colors for the X-Men symbol. That would have been better, in my opinion, than just with the gray, very gray, kind of like more modern Danger Rooms type of thing. But that's about it. I like I think this is perhaps if this is the art box, that is a nice depiction. That is a nice choice for that. Very nice. I think the sculpt is fantastic on the portrait. Very well done. Now the next one here, it's definitely Rogue. And as you can see, there are already changes. This is actually based on the on the art of the animated series, and you can see that there's a big difference. She doesn't look as voluptuous as she does on the classic, on the original animated series, which is that you saw even on the Mondo figure, which they trying to respect that. She's a little bit more, I don't know. I think that's the biggest change. And if it's a show that is actually on the footsteps of follow what happened on the events of the X-Men when it ended, and this is the continuation, Rogue looks younger rather than looking older, or at least the same version. Even the hair is different, so they definitely have made changes, aesthetic changes. I don't know why. Maybe to not offend some people, because even on her back is you know, it doesn't have the kick you used to have. Like, yeah, they took that away. At least on this statue, the statue kind of gives you an idea. This is representing on the art of the animation. So here you already have a glimpse of how the animation is going to be. And we saw it on the figure also that was by Marvel Legends. So yeah, there's some changes. Still good. It still looks good, but definitely she had less, I don't know, maybe she's thinner, more athletic, who knows. They're going with that route. And they went with a more action pose rather than a more like, I think they would have come up with a better pose than this, as we saw with the, even the photos of Mondo were better. You know, like the poses were better. But this is more of an action pose. I think they're going on their route. And yeah, I noticed that also they changed this new design. They doing the green jacket. And to be honest with you, that's, you know, like the original jacket, just the brown jacket was just perfection in my opinion. It gave a nice contrast. The colors here, I feel that there's a lot of green, a lot of yellow. It lacks some of that impact that the original had. Like that little, you know, leather jacket had more impact in my opinion. I don't know, because that's what it is, you know. Like you look at the Mondo, and let me see, we can go to Mondo, like kind of give you an idea. We're gonna make comparisons here right now that I have you here. Oh, actually it's green. I was thinking it was brown. It is the same, so my apologies, I was mistaken. I think the difference here is that I feel that the green that was chosen based on the original has this lighter bright, you know, green, while this one has more of a darker green. That's what it is. And the darker colors, the darker tones make it look a little more, I wouldn't say sinister, but they take away that appeal. I think this bright green that was used here, even on her face, the hair, all the wavy hair and the red hair, this is more of a brown. Even the red on her lips were more bright. You know, they have gone for this. And of course, this is representing the choices made. But look at that portrait and tell me that there's no difference there, that they have not changed. And these are figures. This is a figure where you compare it to, yeah, they have made changes. And to be honest with you, I'm not necessarily a fan of those changes. And you can say maybe it's because the hair changed. I don't know. There's a lot of things off. But that is just that. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that Iron Studios is doing it wrong. Iron Studios is just following the concept of the TV show. And this already given us an idea of how the TV show is going to be. Hey, how you doing, Knight? How are you, my friend? That's right. 90s would have a bubble. Yeah, that's what I say. Have a bubble butt. You know, and everything was like that. But hey, you know, this is the times now we're living. Like everything is like there. Disney's afraid of everything. You know, they push on some agendas. They don't care about others. You know, it's just the way it is. You know, I'm not here to politicize this video. This is not about it. It's not a politics here, but you know, sometimes, you know, the double standard about one thing or the other, it makes no sense. They make changes to some things, but others they leave like and act like it's okay. I don't know, it's just, I don't get it. But that's Iron Studios right there. That's Iron Studios. We covered that. Now I want to take you back here again. We're on Sideshow, and I want to take you to another company that I think I had talked just very limited times, maybe once or twice in the past, and which surprised me that I haven't. Oh no! I was still in Iron Studios. My apologies. I haven't finished. I still one more to go. So sorry for that. The next piece that I need to talk about it is Captain America. I was skipping that one. I couldn't skip that one. There's two versions. There's a deluxe version and there's a regular version. The difference is just the type of base. To be honest, just the regular is fine. But let's look at the deluxe version. This is going to be a new diorama set that there's called, this is the Infinity Gauntlet set. There's going to be the new thing. So they're building that as they built the, you know, the, what was that? The Sentinel dioramas, that whole collection, which is massive, is amazing too. Now they're going into a new route. Of course, we have Thor, which was already on pre-order, and this is the second one now, Captain America. So really looking forward to more of this. Of course, they take some liberties. They a more modern version of Captain America. This we have seen before, this type of pose in other statues. It's not a new one. The similarities with many others is there. I do like the way, actually the base is not bad. The raised base, you have swappable heads. Very cool depiction. He's in action. It looks really good. And here we have already a glimpse of, you know, in this case of was that I just lost the Thanos. So I think we already seen Thanos, but you can see everything is gonna kind of be part of that same collection. I think Captain America looks great. I think the difference between one or the other, it depends on how you want to display him. I think if you're gonna go for the whole collection, if that's what you want to build, then definitely you gotta go for this one. You want to raise Captain America in a good level, because I think some of the others are gonna have also, you know, some raised bases. Or you can always go for the regular and use a riser if necessary, so save a little bit of the money. But that is just an option. I think the base, you can look at the shading on that base, that gauntlet right there. It looks great. Of course, this is a more ultimate version type of style, you know, or the suit is part of the ultimates. So it looks good. You have the deluxe version, you got the collector's edition as they call it, which technically is just the regular. It only comes, if I'm not mistaken, one portrait. It's a very simple. Actually, that doesn't look bad. Now, the only thing is, like, I'd be afraid of that leaning because it's only held by a peg, and you know, it's kind of like it's gonna be in mid-air. Big part of the body is gonna be hanging. So let's hope that that peg is really long enough, but it doesn't seem that it's gonna be that long. So yeah, that's gonna be a fear. It looks good. The pose looks good, but I wish there was something sustaining his leg, or he was standing on something. That would be, in my opinion, the right way to display it, because with that, it's going to lean. Even, of course, they're small. 110, there's not as much weight, but still gravity has an effect on anything, on everything. So yeah, that would be a concern. Like the portrait, it doesn't have the interchangeable portrait as this deluxe version. That's a very interesting deluxe version. And now I can see, I thought that it was sustained by something, but now I can see here that actually, I thought he was, because of the angle, I thought he was sustaining his leg, resting his foot on top of the rocks, but now I can see that it is not. So yeah, that could be a concern. Yeah, it makes it look dynamic, but is it practical? Would that stay, you know, would I be stable enough? I think it would be easier to stabilize this figure here because of how tall the base is. So you can have a bigger rod, you know, a bigger peg, and it goes down all the way, so it can sustain and hold the weight a lot more, a lot better. The other one doesn't have that option because the base is very, you know, it's almost to the floor, to the ground. So yeah, no, a couple of things there I can say, but it's a nice sculpt nonetheless. I think it's a really nice depiction, nice face, nice portrait. Both portraits are really, really nice. All right, so it is over with this. Let's go back down to the new stuff so I can show you the next thing. We're gonna look at this company. There's a couple of things that they are being produced here, but I want to talk about Enesco right here. Enesco producing 1/8 scale statues. Now Enesco has been doing it for a little bit of time. It's not something new. I would say with Enesco, sometimes the quality might be, the likeness might be a problem sometimes. Some people may not find Enesco to be the most accurate. But I think the price point is excellent. You can go to Amazon right now and buy figure from this collection, statues from this, and they all are a great price. So let me look at this here. Here, everything that Enesco does. Of course, Enesco is known. If you go to Hallmark stores and stuff, you're gonna see a lot of Enesco stuff, a lot of figurines, a lot of decoration for Christmas, a lot of small stuff, a lot of figurines, a lot of Disney stuff. You go to the Disney store, you're gonna see a lot of their products. They have produced a lot of products over the years, a lot of collectible products over the years. People love the serialized part of it. But I want to look at this case. Let's see Harry Potter stuff, the stuff that they have here at Sideshow. They went just on pre-order this week. We have this Voldemort, $148. I'm not necessarily a fan of Harry Potter. Never been, really. I don't care much about it. I hadn't even, I think, watched the movies. Maybe I watch one and I fall asleep. My brother and my sister-in-law, on the other hand, they're big fans. They love the whole series. This is Voldemort. Now, to give you an idea of the scale, it's a 1A scale. The size of this is made out of resin. It's almost 10 inches tall, as you can see right there. I think the likeness, this is not gonna, you're not gonna compare it to Prime1 Studios likeness or even Iron Studios likeness. But I think for this size and the scale, it's pretty good. So there's no reason to say, oh, it's bad. I think it's a simple, well done figurine statue. I wouldn't even call it figurine. Normally they do figurines smaller than this, but because of the scale they're using at 1A scale now, it's more of a statue. It's a smaller statue, but it's bigger than 110. It's bigger than Iron Studios. Now they have this, which is very interesting that they went for this with light up features on this. You got Hermione right here and light up Patronus. Very nice concept. I'm not sure if they're using like a resin on this one or it's more like a plastic, clear plastic. Let me see on the details. It's resin, LED, zinc, alloy, and acrylic. So it's acrylic. So that is just like a plastic, acrylic plastic, whatever, to create that effect. It does have the light up feature. I think it's pretty cool. This is a very interesting concept. How that light up feature is gonna work out. Let's see. We can see the pictures here. And it's tall, almost 12 inches. Technically, as tall as a 1/6 scale statue. I'm sorry, you know, within the same range. It could be more, like in this case, at least a Hot Toys figure. So it's gonna be, you look at Hot Toys figure, this is what you're gonna look at this figurines, these statues. Very nice. And I like what they did with the bases because they have this theme. Not a bad one. And then you have Harry. This is the one that I perhaps dislike the most because I like the concept. I'm not necessarily like the portrait. It doesn't look like the actor, in my opinion. It looks very different. I like the concept, and I'm sure the light up feature is gonna be very potent. It's gonna be strong, and it's pretty cool. But the likeness on Harry Potter, on Harry, it's not really well. The one with Hermione was fine, as far as I know, because of course of this, you know, like. Of the characters, I'm familiar with the characters. At least I watch a lot of the trailers, or I watch a lot of information. You know, I'm a bit familiar with it. But this run, it looks great. This also has a better likeness than the Harry, and this one doesn't look bad. It looks good. So now, gonna give you an idea. If I take you to Amazon, let me take you there. I'm gonna do Enesco Harry Potter figurines, for example. Here you can see the stuff that you can find here. They have already, and the prices are great. Like you have the Wizard World of Harry Potter Professor McGonagall. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. And Enesco's been doing figurines for quite some time. The scale is pretty much the same as the one we saw. They got the Wizarding World Sirius Black. This is one here, $87. I was going through some of the reviews, and people are really very happy with what they pay for these figurines. They seem to be very good. They seem to be fine. And sorry if you're looking at some of my information there. I just wanted to kind of point out the stuff they have done. You can see, like, you can see all these figurines that they have done in the past. So the company's been doing figurines, you know, for Harry Potter for some time, and they're doing pretty good. Different scales, and they're around that price. And of course, when they drop in price, they go $60-$50. But you know, you can look at the reviews also of the figurines, the reviews that they put on YouTube. I see it a few. So I think, you know, I will say that this company, it's intriguing, it's interesting in my opinion. They do really Enesco does interesting job. It's not for everyone. Very, you know, you're into figurines, into statues, definitely that's something worth checking out. Now Sideshow's carrying their stuff, and we'll see what else, you know, what else they'll bring, and we'll see how they do eventually. And maybe the likeness is better than what you see in this promos. All right, so we're moving now. I want to take you now with the, I want to go to Diamond Select Toys. The reason I want to go to Diamond Select Toys because I haven't really having the opportunity to do much of it. I think we're going to Diamond. I'm not sure if that's gonna work out here. I get the emails from Diamond all the time. This is actually the new one that I got from Daenerys, Game of Thrones. And I like the concept. The portrait needs some work, but the reason why I wanted to bring it here because I think it's a cool depiction. Some of the stuff that we see. So let me give you an idea of the Game of Thrones. Daenerys, Targaryen. I forgot how to pronounce it. Targaryen. The portrait doesn't look like the actress, in my opinion, but the concept here is really well done, in my opinion. And those dragons there, I think it's a really nice concept. This is still a deluxe gallery version, so it's PVC. But now, Diamond Select Toys is doing two different kinds of PVC, or the different kinds of gallery collections. They got the more regular gallery collection, and then they got the deluxe gallery, which is the more high-end PVC stuff. So there's gonna be differences. So this is more on the better quality, more in line to what I would say the same type of PVC that used by Kotobukiya. So it's a much better quality. It looks great, at least this model. I think it's a perfect depiction of her, the body type, the sculpt, the design, the concept. My only thing is that the face could have been done better, a bit more likeness. I'm not sure it's because they decided to go on something like this in order not to appear as the actress and pay, you know, the actress for likeness or something. I don't know if that is the case. I'm just thinking perhaps that is the option. But the whole concept of the statue is really well done. But yeah, the face is not her. I do like the little dragons. Really cool concept. Nice detail, I would say, with the paint job done in this prototype is really well done. It's around 10 inches tall. It's not that big of a, I would say it's around the same, around 1/8 scale. It's 2 units. I'm not sure if the scale is presented there. Sometimes you see it. But that kind of gives you an idea of what they're doing here. Now let me kind of see if there's any more Game of Thrones stuff that we can look. Maybe we can see some of it here. And I will tell you that that's one thing that I dislike about I dislike their website. The website has always been terrible. Like, you know, the way it's set up, I don't like it. It's not as user friendly. Other things that they have done here, you can see this Jon Snow Deluxe Gallery Diorama. This was the first one they have. Also PVC. This one, the likeness is a bit better, but still not the greatest. But I do like the concept that they come up with. You can see that white wolf and the base. It looks really cool. It looks high end to the point. It looks kind of like if it was done by Weta. Although when you get close and you look at the detail, you already know it's not Weta because Weta does much better detail. And it's PVC. So it's still not a bad concept for this one. This one is 9, of course, because the way he's bending his knees, all of that. So it's not that of a, I would say that is expensive, I guess. But they also did this one, the Tyrion Lannister. That's another gallery diorama. This is 59 cheaper, of course, because of the stature of the actor. So it's not a big one. But I like this one. I think they've been doing fantastic. I like the way they do in the bases. And they have the symbols on the basis of the houses, you know, of each character that they represent. This one has perhaps the best likeness of the 3. The one that looks the most as the actor. It looks really well done. I don't know who sculpted this, but did a fantastic job on that particular concept design, and the sculpt is really well done. It's really well done. $60, definitely for those who are fans And now, if you look into the stuff they also do, they have the Dragon Legends and 3D Dimensions bus. Of course, it's something that they've been doing. This is, I wouldn't call it half scale, but these are kind of within the half scale size. Interesting. If you want to build that, it's an interesting looking dragon. $250, I think, is a fair price. Very cool. How well it will be in the end, not sure. Now, looking at the details, about 11, almost close to 12 inches tall, which is pretty nice size. Same height of a Hot Toys, so it's fine. It's not super big, but yeah, if you are interested, and this should be out of resin. It's a half scale, as they call it, but it's not, because, well, unless the dragon is the, you know, have the size. I don't know. I don't think so. I think dragons are bigger, but whatever. So this kind of gives an idea of something that they're producing. Now, some of the things that they've been doing. Let me look at some of the other stuff. The newest stuff, of course, there's a lot of stuff here. Of course, it's connected with Gentle Giant. We're gonna look at some of the stuff from Gentle Giant in just a moment. Here are figures, of course, and you're into Tim Burton stuff. But I want to look at this figure. This is the Deluxe Galarama. This is also PVC. But I love this Legolas. I think this Legolas looks great, in my opinion. I think the likeness with the portrait, a little off, but it's fine at this scale. I do like the way they did him, the way they represent the way he's standing. Very nice, really well done. It's in a fight mode. Very nice touch. But it looks good. Nice detail, nice paint job. Love the pose. I think it's the way you want to represent Legolas. It's just perfectly done. I really like that one. Very cool colors. Also 9 inches tall. Pretty nice. Very neat. And when you look at the Lord of the Rings, the stuff they have done, of course, they have done figures. We have seen a couple of things on the pre-order side. Of course, they have done a lot of figures. And you can see the deluxe action figures, which they have done. But when it comes about the stuff that they do, the gallery diorama, you know, you have this, I think, the Gandalf, the White Wolf. That is another deluxe version. I think it's a nice, also, PVC statue. Looks great. Very nice likeness. Very nice sculpt of the cape, everything. It's pretty good. The face, the portrait is perfect. I think it's good for PVC statue. They did a terrific job with it, with that likeness. Very well done. The paint job on this is really nice. Not a bad one. Definitely within the same scale. The next one I want to point out is this one. The Cave Troll, of course, is more expensive. But of course, I think it's smaller. It's in size. They didn't make it as big as they should. But I think it's just trying to kind of represent. They didn't want to go overboard because, you know, Cave Trolls can be, they're huge. So, but still, I think it's a really nice depiction of a Cave Troll. And I would say the paint job in some areas might still kind of give you the hint that it's actually made out of PVC. It looks great. I don't see any seams. At least I haven't seen it yet. Well, I see that seam, which is something that I sometimes hate about the way they Diamonds like does certain things with PVC. Is statues and figures, just like you can see the seam right there. It's so visible in some way. I wish that was not the case, but hey, it is how they do certain things. I wish it was more hidden. Because a lot of the statues that they do in PVC, they're really fantastic. But when they comes about hiding them, those seams, it seems like they're not as good at, they don't do as good of a job as other companies do. Even Kotobukiya does a much better job in hiding those seams on PVC statues. So yeah, so that's what we have right there. I want to take you now where we're here. Let's go to Gentle Giant. And let's look at what Gentle Giant is offering. Things that we have is skip. You know, we skip. You know, right now Gentle Giant does a lot of the Marvel stuff. They technically they do all the stuff, but the Star Wars stuff. But I want to talk about the newest things that they released. At least the new pre-orders that had to do with Star Wars. We have the animated Marvel Mysterio animated style statue. Let's start with that one first, because of course this is on the Scotty Young style type of thing. They call it, you know, they change it to animated style, but it's more like a Scotty Young. It's kind of cool. Although I gotta be honest with you, it's could have been better. It could have been a lot better. It's a tiny little mini bus, and he's kind of floating. It's kind of cool. It's kind of kiddish. But I think $75, that's very steep for something that is not that big, and particularly it's very small. This collection is never that big, so it should be like $50, I think. But I think that's the standard now with a lot of this bus. But now looking at the stuff that they have produced here, we're gonna skip this Return of the Jedi Nice Noddle Jumbo figure. I want to look at this one first. We're gonna go up. So we're gonna look at the Captain Enoch Premier Collection statue. When it's premiere, it means that it's made out of resin, it's made out of polystone. It's $200. Of course, this is from Ashoka. Interesting concept. I think that what they were underutilized on the Ashoka TV show. I would have loved to see more of him, and you know, in this case the guard, but we didn't see it. Nice detail, nice paint job, and this is 11 inches, almost 12, so it's within the 1/6 scale range, if I'm not mistaken, or it could be 1/7. I think it's with the 1/6 scale range, at least at the way they sell, or they sell those statues. It's more like a 1/7. And then of course we got the Ahsoka Night Trooper, the Night Troopers, of course, but this is the mini bus, $130. Interesting concept, very well done. What I like about it, one thing I love about this collection over the years is that they have retained the same style of bases for this collection, and they haven't really deviated from it, which is good. Nice job. I wouldn't call it clean because of course he has the battle damage, but it's clean in the sense of that it is really well applied. It's simple, it's not complicated, so that is really a nice mini bus. Now there's the website exclusive. This is $175, which I think is steep, but this is the Return of the Jedi Wicked Warwick milestone statue, a Valentine's Day website exclusive. But this one, that is a pretty cool depiction of a Wicked. It's just so cool. Look at that. It's not that big, of course. Those guys are small, but that is a really nice sculpt, nice paint job, very cool. Definitely for Star Wars fans. But look at that. It's so tiny, very small. So I think it's exclusive, but I think the price is too steep for it, in my opinion. $175. I think it's just too much for what they offering, although it's a very cool thing. Now in the other pre-orders, we have the Return of the Jedi Gamorrean Guard, Legends in 3D Dimension bus, $250, which is the standard for that. I think that's one thing I would say about the bus that are produced by Gentle Giant. I think the price is very good, it's fair, and I think it's good, you know, like you know, it's fair. If you cannot afford to spend $1,000 on a bus, you can go for what they are doing, and they're doing some really cool concepts that are very nice. This has a nice detail. Of course, this is paint. This is the prototype, so but it's so well done. They did a really nice job with this Gamorrean Guard. Really looks good. I think the price is very fair for what they're offering here. Now, when you look at the Mandalorian Bo-Katan, this is of course on the season 2. Is season 2 or the most no, the season 2, the season 3, the most recent season of the Clone. What's that? The Mandalorian, when of course Bo-Katan is in this case the Mando goes to visit her. I would say the portrait is the only thing that I'm not necessarily a fan, but the throne she's sitting in, the position that she is, I definitely, they took it from that an image, still image of the TV show, and it looks great. The face, it looks like, I gotta be honest with this, looks like a Hispanic version of Bo-Katan. Like it looks like more, it looks like, you know, like she looks Mexican. I'm Mexican, so I can say it. I don't think that's Bo-Katan, but whatever, you know, it kind of, but it doesn't look, I think it's just the tone, maybe just the photograph that we use here, but still I feel that there's something missing that doesn't resemble the actress, in my opinion. Now, it's a nice choice, nice pose, Nice scene. They went for something really nice, and I think everything else is fine. It's just the portrait that needs work, but everything else, in my opinion, seems really good. Very nice. Very large throne too. So that is cool. That's another one. The price for this one, for this Premier Collection statue, is $250 for this one. This is at the top of the food chain, I guess. And finally, I want to put this, the Clone Wars, the Echo, of course, the you know, of course, the Bad Batch, which I'm so excited. I'm gonna be watching. But here you have $130. This collection that I've been building, kind of cool. And he has the interchangeable portrait, which is nice. I think that's a nice touch. They did a really nice job with it. Nice paint job, simple, clean. Very well done. So there's no reason to complain there. They did a nice job with it. Let me read the notes. Yeah, sharpen up paint strokes. Yeah, talking about, yeah, some of the things they require a little bit of the figures there. They require better. You know, some figures here, I would say some of the stuff they do with Gentle Giant, and some stuff that is done with Gentle Giant, or some stuff that is done with, you know, with Diamond Select Toys. Some of the stuff is great, and some of the stuff is all right. I feel that, you know, it depends who paints it. I think sometimes they have some painters to do certain type of levels. You know, I have a couple of friends that are painters and work for these companies as freelancers, and sometimes it depends on what the company wants, and they want to invest more money into something. They ask for this or that, so they go for something, because at the end of the day, you know, the thing, and there's something that I was told by one painter, is that, you know, they want to create a paint job that actually has to be replicated at a factory level. So if you come up with a very complicated paint job, the factory, one that has to be imitated or has to be copied by the factory might come back and say to the company, hey, it's gonna cost you more because this is premium painting. The way it's painted, we had to add more details to the paint, so we're gonna charge you more, let's say 10-25% more of the initial price, just to get it done because of the paint job, because the type of paint job that you want us to imitate from the prototype. So the company, sometimes they go to the painters, the freelancer painters, and they say, I want you to do, instead of a level A type of paint, go for level B or level C. Give us this. So they get what they pay for. Because at the end of the day, these companies have to send it to the factory, and the factories have to give them a quote of how much it's going to be. So ultimately, you know, that's something that I didn't know. That's Bocantina. Yes. So companies do that. Sometimes, you know, like painters, and that was something that I learned from my good friend Eddie Bradley. You know, Ed Bradley, he mentioned, he gave me that. He told me that. So to me, it's like, okay, so that's how they work. And so sometimes, you know, if you get like a subpar paint job, it's not because because it's not because the company didn't know, because there was a mistake by the factory. No, it's because actually the company wasn't willing to pay that top dollar to produce something. That is the problem back in the day that happened with Kotobukiya. I didn't know that actually Kotobukiya was paying less. You know, they went for the subpar version of the paint job. They didn't want like a complicated paint job, so they pay a little less, because if you want a better paint job, that means that you got to pay more. Of course, that's reflected on the price, of how you're going to sell a product, and sometimes people don't want to pay that type of price. So that is the difference. Some companies, you know, paint job matters a lot at factory level. That's what determines price too. So yeah, this is kind of cool. You know, we look at this one again. So we finished with them. Now I want to take you to another company. We're gonna look now at Tsume Art. Let me take you there. That's another company that definitely does amazing work, and they did have a pre-order this week. I think they had it, or already went on pre-order. And this is another of the stuff that they produce. And Tsume Art, of course, they're based in Luxembourg. A lot of times people think that they're from France. They speak French because Luxembourg is right next to France, or it's part of, you know, next to it, but it's its own country, small country, of course. But they release, let me see, sometimes this website is a bit weird. Right there, what they have for sale And of course, you can see, you can go to Spec Fiction. We're gonna go to Spec Fiction in a moment, so I can show it to you there too. You got Human Monster Garou, and this is from One Punch Man, and this is part of the Ikagai, that's what it's called, collection. The Ikagai is a collection that they've been producing for, the Tsume has been producing for quite a while. It's technically the 1/6 scale line, and they've been doing from different franchises, of course, that they've been producing. Where there is the Knights of the Zodiac, One Piece, also from they have done for what else? One Piece, Knights of the Zodiac. I don't remember right now. It's like skip my mind. Dragon Ball, but now of course they started the line, the One Punch Man. I don't know what they didn't start with the main character, and they went for, you know, with one of the villains. But you know, it's the start, and this is. Let's see if we can see the pictures here. Oh, right there. It's a very cool concept. What they do with this is a more simplistic style in the sense of the base are simpler, although they also add a little touches to the base. I like what they do, the rock formation of the base and the lettering there is really cool. The representation of his power with that bluish, you know, with that clear resin, which is technically more like a acrylic that they're using. Tsume does this very hybrid pieces with so many different parts, which is really cool. Always been amazing. They actually, with Garou here, they're going more into the, more than the anime, they're going with the manga style, and I think they did a fantastic job. If you're familiar, you're not familiar with One Punch Man, of course, this is one of the villains in the story. The White Wolf, you can call it, is like a werewolf. He has a big part. He's definitely a villain, but also he's in some way kind of like, you know, he has some moralities. You know, he can be a hero in some way, although he's not. He's more like he's an anti-hero that, you know, kind of goes more into the villain side. But yeah, it's kind of cool. They went for they chose a very nice way to represent him. Very cool. You know, nice paint job, nice pictures, and here you can see, even though, you know, like they try to save space with this, I think that when it has pretty, you know, it's very, you know, it has some scale, you know, like the depth of it is, it's a bit, you know, it's wide, but it's more of the depth because you have to, you want to display them this way in front of you, but here on the side, definitely you need more depth. It looks great. And here you can see a picture of all this being painted at the factory level. That's kind of cool. That's how you can see it. I like these pictures because it shows us how things are painted by hand, by artists. So definitely, it's a lot of work that goes into producing this type of things. It's not an easy thing. There's a lot of work that has to be done with these pieces. And sometimes we kind of miss that. We don't see that. We don't appreciate that. We think it's a simple thing. It's not a machine doing the painting. It's a person. So it requires some work. This gives us a picture, an idea of how it's going to be packaged. It's kind of nice that they kind of give you that. And again, this is the first one in the collection, on the One Punch Man collection. And we'll see what else they bring. Gotta give you an idea of what they have. Just to give you an idea, for those who are unfamiliar with Tsume, perhaps, if you're unfamiliar with this company, just waiting for that to... All right, so here are others. Of course, they also have the Naruto ones. So they have different from other collections. They're all part of the Kage collection. The Naruto, we have talked about him before. You can see Natsu. So they have done different variations and a lot of amazing looking pieces for sure. I love what this company does. Also, My Hero Academia. So they have a lot of different variations and versions and characters that they have done. Even Harry Potter, they have done that too as well. So they have a lot of stuff here. You can see the Dragon Ball stuff. You know, it's cool to see. This company does amazing work for sure. But definitely, yeah, I don't know why they went for this one. It would be nice if they started with Saitama. That would be probably how you start with One Punch Man. But they went with that, and you know, Tsume has always been successful at doing this kind of thing. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be anything wrong with it. Now, I think they have a spec fiction. Let's look at spec fiction just to have a quick idea. I'm not sure if they do. It seems that they don't. I don't see it there. I was just wondering if they had it. They don't, but they have other things too. That is very, very cool. Now that we are actually at spec fiction, now moving on from Tsume art, I want to talk about the next company that is going to release something tomorrow. And actually, we're gonna go spec fiction, but let me go first to their main website, and that's Figurama Collectors. This company definitely is doing. Actually, I'm going to Facebook Figurama. Now, the pre-order starts tomorrow, 11 p.m. I think it's Japan time, so that means that it's gonna be early. You can see right there, Kenshiro and Raoh. Of course, this is the One Punch Man. No, what you know, the Fist of the North Star. Sorry. So this is a very intriguing piece. It's a diorama that I think they've been kind of promoting. Let me see. We can do right there. I'm going to their website. This is the North Star Kenshiro and Raoh anime statue reveal. Of course, this is based on the anime, also on the manga. I'll tell you, this is a really nice depiction, and it does have like a bust stance, swappable torso for both characters. The level of detail, the whole base, everything that they have done with this statue is just amazing. It's mesmerizing what their Figurama is doing with this statue. Yeah, I hope they make a metal bat to go with Garou. That would be great. Yeah, they kind of went simple with this one. I'm not sure if they're gonna do something else. Yeah, it's kind of like the version of Garou. Like, you know, there's a different versions of Garou that, you know, over time, where like even the demon form that he had, like the werewolf form. There's a lot of things I think in the future we're going to see. This is the first one to start in, but I'm sure they're gonna see as they keep growing that collection. We're gonna see even different versions of the characters, and definitely Garou has different versions or different ways to represent the character. But here you can see the stance. I like to have this stance where you can have swappable torsos. Really cool. Like the resin, the clear resin or acrylic that they're using for this. The paint job on those arms is amazing. Now, let me take you to a spec fiction, because here's where we can pre-order if you're in North America. It's expensive, of course, $1,500 pretty much for this, but it's because the size, the sheer size of this piece and how much stuff is in it. It is huge. It's going to release, according to this, on the first quarter of 2025. Of course, that's always subject to change. You can see Kenshiro right there and Raoh, like they're in this battle. And I love that you can see his hands, like the way they did the effects of the hands. That is power. Look at that. And the portraits, amazing. The way with the Final Combat portrait. Okudo Hyakuretsu Ken portraits, I think is the artist. It's really cool. You know, I'm not know a lot about, you know, Fist of the North Star. I'm not a super expert. I read part of the manga, you know, watched the shows, played the video games, but I'm not like an expert. But yeah, I think this is an iconic representation of these two characters in a battle, and I think that the way they did the base, the level of detail in that base, all of that really determines. This is definitely for the hardcore fan. If you're a hardcore fan, then definitely this is a statue for you. It looks great, and I love the paint job and the detail and the interchangeable portraits. The swappable portrait on this one, and yeah, it looks so super cool. Look at the detail there. Very nice. I think Figurama has been having it's been winning also prizes and different presentations. I think companies growing. It's a company that you need to pay attention to. that continues to thrive, continues to advance, and I think is becoming more and more popular. The stuff they produce is very unique and different. They go all out when the stuff they represent, and I think it's a company that it's really setting a standard. I think they want to be the best anime, manga, statue collectible company. And right now, I think that the best, if you ask me which company is the best when it comes about anime or manga stuff, I'm gonna say Tsume, because Tsume has been in business for the longest, and Tsume has been doing fantastic. But Tsume is also kind of going into the route as we saw with the Ikagai, which is more of a, you know, like a more minuscule, or they reduce the size of they're not going with crazy bases, they're going with more simplistic stuff, and they're trying to build collections. So they're going to the simplistic style to reach a bigger audience, I guess, to have more to produce. Some other companies are just going all out in Asia. They just want to have the biggest representations possible, which could be good. Prime1 has been doing amazing doing so. But I think there are companies like Figurama collectors that they want to be on that niche. They want to be there, and I think they're doing fantastic. And this is a really nice depiction. The pictures are great. The figure is great, and kudos to Figurama. And I hope tomorrow, which the pre-order is going to start very soon, it's already on pre-order in other places, you know, like you can see right here. I hope that the best for them, that it does great when it comes time to do all the pre-orders. All right, my friends, we're not done yet, but I'm gonna take my last break before I come back. We're done with the anime stuff. We already covered a good amount of statue companies, and I'm coming back for the big companies now. When I come back, we're going to talk about Tweeterhead teasers. I want to cover some of those teasers that we have seen so far. I want to talk about Sideshow Collectibles. They also have the Electro teaser. We're going to cover that. We're going to take a Prime1 Studio, the Boromir, Lord of the Rings quarter scale statue that's the release for this week. And we're going to cover PCS. We're going to talk about the Sabretooth 110 scale statue and the Pumpkinhead 1/3. And we will finalize with Regal robot. So just give me a few, and we'll come back and we'll finish this live stream tonight. But thank you for the support. I'm gonna take my dog out and I'll be right back.
Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight. Better off, I'm gonna find my way tonight. Won't you talk to me? I wanna heal your sorrow. Won't you talk to me? We'll make a new tomorrow. Won't you talk to me?
All right, we're back. I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much. Thank you for staying here with me tonight, being able to talk about collectibles. We still have some way to go, so we still have a few companies to cover. Again, as always mentioned, the timestamps will be added tomorrow in the morning, so that way if you miss something, for some reason you have to step out or anything happens, you can always come back and check the the recording of it and look at those things that you're interested on. All right, so first let's go. I want to talk about Tweeterhead, because Tweeterhead has been doing really amazing stuff, and there's no denying on that. So we're gonna look at some of the stuff that Tweeterhead has been doing. So for that reason, just bear with me while I'm doing this. I'm gonna take you here to look at this stuff here. PCS has a lot of pre-orders going in different scales. What's your thought on that? I think, and I'm gonna mention this when I get to PCS. Let me just think about it a little bit, because I was thinking about it too when I was talking about. I think, and I mentioned this in other videos before. I think they're doing a lot, and that could be good, and that can also be bad. It's good in some way, and not necessarily with reference to the scale. I think they're offering something for everyone, but at the same time, I think they have so many hands and so many cookie jars. They're doing so many things here and there, and that of course takes away possibility to be best at something, you know, because you're master. You master all trades, but you're master of none. You know, you do so many things, not necessarily means that you're good at something, because you're doing so many things. I don't know. That could be something to consider. But before we get into that conversation, let me go to Facebook. And I'm not going to look at Tweeterhead per se. I'm going to look at the official Tweeterhead collector group, which started soon. And you haven't really followed this, I invite you to go there. It's a private group, but you can join in. And this is for, you're going to get a lot of teasers. This is the official. There's other Tweeterhead groups that have been created by other, even YouTubers, but that they're not official. And then they finally decide to go in this route, and they're doing it on their own, which is great. Matt Weasel, he's been involved in the industry for many years with different companies. He's now the one in charge. I think he's also doing some work with now working for Tweeterhead, doing their I'm not sure if he's doing social media or some other things that he's doing, advertisement, but I think he's working with them directly. Matt Weasel has been involved in and a lot of things that he worked for Sideshow. He's worked for a lot of things, companies, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to kind of go and here, of course, there's a great group if you want to look at the stuff they have there. But I want to talk about this reveals. And you have the Thundercats reveal. But I want to talk about this because I haven't really have. Of course, the Master Universe has been fantastic. And I'll be there. Let me see. I saw this one. Here, my good friend Guillermo Barbiero, the sculptor of this He-Man. He did a fantastic job. Guillermo is an amazing sculptor, and his Panther also skeleton looks fascinating. Here you have. I think we're getting close. I saw that someplace. Hopefully, I found it. Wonder Woman. I love that Wonder Woman. I see it every day. Have it downstairs as a standalone display. Man, I saw this earlier, right there. This is what I wanted to see. This gives us an idea what's going on. Of course, we have seen this. Of course, this came on the newsletter that they send out. We got it. Of course, this is the Master of the Universe Legends line, which has been a fascinating line. This is a 1/5 scale line, but they're really big, almost as big as quarter scale pieces. They technically quarter scale, but this is the Tweeterhead scale we're talking about. But then we have the Sorceress, which is going to be released sometime. We also see in the background some of the other projects they have. They have the Man-at-Arms. You can see very interesting, very modern looking Man-at-Arms. Kind of like gives me a little vibe of the new TV show. Of course, the Netflix show. Then of course we have Scary Glow in the back. That's the concept art. That looks like it's been drawn by the Kucharik brothers. It definitely looks like the Kucharik brothers. the concept art. It could be someone else, but it does have that look, you know, the drawings that they do, the pencil work that they do. But look at that. I think the complaint has been, of course, with the wings on Sorceress, because they come out of her arm and they kind of like wings separate from the arms. There's some complaint about that. I think in some way, let's keep in mind that the Legends collection has always been a revision. It's not like they're doing the accurate animated style. They're not doing the animation, you know, they're doing the filmation style. They're doing their own thing. They're taking their own take, and they have so far created some amazing depictions of this character with a modern touch. So maybe that's what they wanted to do, something a bit different that actually was more practical, because the reality is that the wings coming out of the arms makes it really unpractical, at least mobility wise, but it looks good on the cartoon. Of course, it's the cartoon. So they're going a little on that different path and trying to do something that is a bit different. So I would say it looked good. This collection has potential as a 1/5. Of course, now with the other it's a 1/6 scale, I'm not sure if they're also going to be building more of those. Not sure what is the plan. Of course, Panther, after Panther and after Skeletor, I don't know what's going to be next. Maybe now building a 1/6 scale, because that will be something that I'll be more interested on than, you know, the 1/5, because I'm not collecting this Legends lane, although there's a lot of fans out there of it. I think they look great. The concepts are here. The opportunity to do something amazing still there. I think Tweeterhead is fascinating in the way they're doing the superpowers line, the stuff they're doing with Master Universe, and the new announcement, which definitely has a lot of people excited too. A continuation to the stuff they do with the Legends with Master Universe, but now they're going into the route of doing the Thundercats, which is something that we've been clamoring for many years for more Thundercat statues. Here you can see a couple things that have been done in the past. Look at this. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is just a... Oh, is this actually the... Okay, yeah, this is when they show... this is the what they showcase. That was like... Yes, they showed this months ago when they showed Pantro. And here you can see, this is the style that we're going to look at Pantro. And this, of course, this is Legends line. So this is 1/5 scale line. It looks really, really neat. Look at that. The depiction is really well done. You know, it's very... They're definitely on this one, they're going to go more classic, for sure. They definitely wanted to go on that. I wish it was 1/6, to be honest with you. I've been wanting to have 1/6. I will tell you, like I said it many times, I would love to have Eric Sosa is sculpting the Thundercats in 1/6 on his style and his you know, his art. That would be amazing, but that doesn't take away from other artists to do something. But again, this is based on the art. Okay, here you can see this is just a render, digital render. But now you can see in the background, you can see Lino. They're going from this pose with Lino, which is an interesting one. It's actually a good one. Very classic. He's holding the Eye of Tundera, the sword, of course. And then, of course, you have Tigra right there. The pose with Tigra, it seems fine. A little more like a ballet dancer or something like that. It's not bad. I think this is something great. Chitara will be great too. Look at somebody posted this from Chitara. This art of Chitara looks great. So yeah, the Thundercat Legends line launches this month. So it's launching. Not sure if it's gonna happen. We're going to see something this week because it's this month. So there's only 1 week left. So what's going to happen? And the first one, of course, is going to be Pantro. So I'm guessing this week we're going to get the newsletter or something. We're going to see finally the pre-order piece. So really looking forward on this final week of February, because it says right there, Matt Weasel is saying it's going to launch. This is the private group. I'm giving you an insight. If you haven't been part of this group, now you know. So we're going to see this Panther. And as we can see this concept right here, this is as it was shown here. And here you can see. Look at that. I think it looks great. I think they did a fantastic job. Look natural. I will tell you, like, I still have my figures that the ones that I got from Mesco Toys that have these figures. I like that Panther. That Panther is amazing. And it's a figure. That is a really large figure. It's like 15 inches tall. It's bigger than a 112, bigger than a Hot Toys. Those figures are great. And so in love with those figures. The only thing I hated is that you know, Mezco didn't finish the line. At least, you know, Willy Kid, Willy Cat, those were the only ones that they did not produce. They didn't get into beyond just the heroes, and they only produced, of course, the main 4 characters. You know, there was just, they only produced Lino, Pantro, Chitara, Tiger. I have all of them. I miss on, you know, I didn't have the Moonra. I should have grabbed it at some point, but I just kind of lost sight when everything kind of went out the window. But those figures are still great. I still look at those figures and they're fantastic. So yeah, it is a good statue, and you know, we'll see what happens. Definitely there's a lot of hope and anticipation on this collection as well. They're going into the more classic route, and I think they're doing fantastic. I think this is the way to go for the Thundercats, and I hope that there's a good, you know, a lot of good luck to them on this venture. So yeah, this is the stuff that I want to talk about, Tweeterhead. Now let me take you to Sideshow, because I want to talk about the next teaser. I'm going to talk about in this case, maybe we can get more pictures here. I don't think we're gonna see it, but let me see. I think we're gonna have to go do sorry. Oh no, I'm going to the wrong place. I'm going in circles here trying to see. Maybe we can see there. Maybe there's any pictures here that we can use. Any new reveals. I want to talk about Elektra. That's what I want to do. I want to talk about Elektra. Let's see if there is anything here that gives us a hint. It's not. So let's go to statue form. How about that? Maybe there's some people posting pictures there. Sideshow Collectibles. Of course, people, there's always going to be a lot of commentary here. A lot of people talking smack about everything. That's the way, you know, it's always been. But here are the reveals. At least here you can see. This was the first reveal that came. This is the first one that they sent out. These little pictures. Time to face your demons. So they have this, and I was like, okay, so what are they going to do with this one? So the next one. I will tell you, this is just, you know, the glimpse that we get. I love the concept of Elektra here. I think, you know, Sideshow has done Elektras in the past, and they're all been great to a certain extent. I think this is the one that nails it for me. I think this is the best so far depiction of Elektra, or at least the one. At least the one. Well, there's been so many great ones. I think the first one was great. But I think this is the one that really captures the essence of Frank Miller's introduction of the character. It feels so Frank Miller to me. The movement, the way she's doing. Of course, there's more modern rendition. Of course, they take liberties, but she's fighting the hand. And the movement she does, it does have such a Frank Miller feel to it that is undeniable. And of course, you know, they take liberties, they modernize some things. The hand looks more modern, of course, with those masks and all that stuff. And but yeah, man, it's just such a fantastic depiction of Elektra. And I know here you can see, maybe you can see everybody commenting, everybody going bananas for it. I think it's been fantastic overall. And let's see if we can see another picture here. I'm going through the... Of course, you know, it's getting the people trying to light up the thing to make it look, you know, of course, lighter so they can see better. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to see all of that. Of course, this is the art. Some people still, you know, gonna do their own thing. You know, they want things their own way. Looking at some of that art, that Vilsinkiewicz art, which has always been good. But you know, I'm surprised that they didn't even ban that picture there. Here you got, this is the picture, of course, that we've seen so far. This is the one that has been for announcement. Yeah, the portrait, to me, that's Frank Miller. When I look at that portrait, I'm looking at Frank Miller. And I think it's such a fantastic depiction of Elektra. It's so vibrant, so active. And that only means something. If they're doing Elektra, it means that we're going to get, again, another Deadpool very, very soon. Because if you know Sideshow doesn't just simply do something out of the blue. They will follow with, their, you know, this is the, you know, the previous one. Great, good. Somehow it's a great piece. I'm not denying it's not bad. But I think it's not the best representation of Elektra. I think this one is superior. This one, it's a much better. It's cleaner. It's just the way I see in my mind when I'm looking at Elektra, I'm thinking about this piece. So I think Sideshow definitely nailed it. Look at that. This other portrait looks great. This angle, great. Those definitely, that looks like her. At least the way I envision her from the comics reading Frank Miller. Look at this other picture. Very nice angle. Some people don't like the pic, saying that they don't like that. But to me, that is Frank Miller. You know, that is Frank Miller art right there. Such a phenomenal depiction, in my opinion. Sorry. All right, so let me kind of give you an idea of what we have seen. This, I will tell you this. This is the Electros that we have seen produced by Sideshow. This is the... You can see this one, for example. This original PF, which is still a classic, in my opinion. Then you have this more modern, which was more of a museum pose. I think the original, they were like... There were two. No, the Comic Head was a 1/5 and then the premium format. The 1/5 was great. I will tell you, the 1/5 was great. The premium format was great, but then of course we have this, of course, the, and I don't know, you can see those pictures. I'm trying to get in there here on Reddit. I think the last one was great. I think it was a nice depiction, more in line to something more museum pose. I think they went with a nice route, but in my opinion, and here, of course, you got the premium format, which was always fascinating piece. I think hard to come by too, because a lot of people, they were like super happy with that premium format. And of course, we have the, and you know, yeah, in today's standard might not be as good. It had the actual hair. It used like natural fibers and stuff. It's a very old school piece. It's really old now at today's standard. And definitely doesn't hold as much, but it definitely, when you think about when this came out, 2005, it was like a very unique, one of the first premium format figures produced by the Sideshow Collectibles. Here you can see premium format one scale figure. It's been a while. Something like this is something that we haven't seen in a long time. So yeah, I think that this is a really nice job. Yeah, that means I'm sure there's gotta be another Deadpool on the way. I'm not Deadpool, I'm sorry, Daredevil on the way. And I'm okay with that. I think, of course, you know, the show is coming very soon. So this is the time where you're gonna see a lot of these collectibles come in, and as the companies can make the money with these characters. And I think it's not a bad time to do so. So here also the white version, there was the exclusive white. So yeah. You know, I think it's going to be about time to do a new for the collection, another one. And this is the thing, I will tell you one thing that surprised me always about Elektra. That is a character that I wouldn't consider an A-lister. It's just more like a B-lister, technically just a companion to a character like Daredevil. But a character that has received a lot of love, you know, from Sideshow in some way, you know, because not only you got the comic kit, you not only have the two premium formats that we have, we'll also have, they also wear dioramas back in the day that Sideshow did with the character. So the character seems like to get that love, and it goes into the cycle. A character that didn't have as much, I would say, even solo runs. She had a few very limited. but a character that is still up to this day is very popular, and I think that this is going to do very, very well. I do love what they did with the base. I do like the concept. It's so Electra to me, and it's great. So I'm all for it. I want to say that they did a fantastic job with it. All right, guys. And again, if you're watching this, please do not forget to leave a like. Let me know that you're watching this video. That really helps me to keep building the channel. Just gonna share with me that you are watching as well. All right, so we are now moving, and I want to go. We covered Sideshow Collectibles. We talk about Electra. Now I want to talk about Prime1 Studio, and the reason why we're going to Prime1 Studio is because they released, instead of a 1/3 scale this time around, they went for a quarter scale, and this one is also available at Sideshow and other places. This is Boromir. This is bonus version. They have the regular version. The bonus version is the one that has the extra portrait, and I say go for that, the extra parts. This is $1,000. I think it's a fair price. It's a really, really nice depiction of Boromir. Primarily, they're going for the Peter Jackson's film, so they're using Sean Bean's portrait, and I think it's not 100%, but it's so good, and it's a really well done that, you know, there's no reason to really complain. They definitely went, and I did a fantastic job. I love the extra portrait. The swappable head part looks fantastic. I think it's really, really well done. Very cool. It's only limited to 400 pieces, which is gonna make it very limited. And here you can see with the extra portrait, fantastic. A lot of people, the one thing I like is that they went on the route of representing that particular scene on the film where, you know, he gets killed. And I think this is an impactful part of the whole franchise, in my opinion. One of the impactful parts where he sacrifices himself to save the others. And I feel that they did a really nice job on really portraying that, the moment, the character of that moment, and the way he's ready to fight, even though he's technically, he has no chance to win. It's so good. I like the texture and that face, the portrait, the paint job there is really well done, fully sculpted piece. Here you the regular face, great, but I think that swappable head, that bonus part, that really captures the essence of that battle. So I think that it's so good, and the base, of course, is great. I will say that what the in this case, Prime1 Studio has done with Lord of the Rings has been phenomenal. I think they have captured, they have created great things. Of course, you see Weta doing amazing stuff always, but I think when it comes about the likeness and really bring the best thing that you can think of, the best representation at this nice scale, definitely Prime1 Studio hands down has really surpassed Weta in the quality. Of course, you know, I think the benefit is the scale and the sheer size of the pieces that they're producing. But yeah, look at that. Even the base, look at that. Man, the level of detail on this piece is phenomenal. So well done. Look at that. All the detail, his clothing and the accessories. Such a nice piece. So well done. Oh, that statue. That face and the pictures that they take, man. There's like 72 pieces. We only have like 30 halfway. That's another thing that I always gonna say about Prime1 Studio. When it was about time to promote their stuff, they spare no expense when it comes about taking pictures. They take as many pictures as possible. Let me go back. I lost track where I was here. Look at that. So nice on every angle. I like the strength of his hair. Really well done. There's so much detail even in there. Even the regular portrait is fine. You know, you don't have to go with the exclusive, but yeah, that it's to me that is a win-win to be able to have the exclusive. But yeah, we can keep on going. It's pretty much the same at different angles. Love the textures on his clothing. All of that is super, super well done. They did a really phenomenal job with this piece. So congratulations to Prime1 Studio for another fantastic job. All right, so now let's go to PCS. Let's go to PCS. And let's look at the newest pre-orders.
Are we talking about losing control? I'm gonna show you how we lose control, baby.
Ooh. All right, so it seems that they have I don't see it here. Newest items. Right there. Now, the Sabretooth, there's two versions of Sabretooth. They only have one here, and they want the Platinum Pumpkinhead, which is the exclusive that is only available here. So I'm gonna take you to Sideshow first. And the reason why we're gonna see Sideshow first, because we're looking at PCS. There's two different versions here of Sabretooth. I'm not sure if you can actually have the two versions here, or there's two versions here. It's only one. Let me see, when you go in, you actually can see the other version. Oh yeah, you can see it right there. All right, so we're gonna stay here. All right, so there's two versions of this statue right here. It's a 110. This is based on the Marvel vs. Capcom series of what they've been doing, and this is actually based on the art of Bengus. Bengus is the artist that did a lot of the Marvel vs. Capcom art and a lot of the Street Fighter Alpha 3 stuff. He worked with Street Fighter 2. He worked with so many things that he did with as an artist, as a freelancer artist. Did so much of the concept art, some of the promotional art that was used for that from Capcom. Some of the classic, even up to this day, Bengus is phenomenal. So this is actually, they use the representation of this particular image here is being used actually from Street Fighter versus X-Men versus Street Fighter. So this is a very cool depiction of that particular art that was used for promotion for that particular, that was used for the concept art for the game. And they nail it. You know, it's like the art. It's Bengus art. It's definitely really cool. At first, I was kind of like skeptical about the portrait. I felt that the portrait was too round. But the more I see it, I can see Bengus. I can see that definitely they really respected the source material. It's a very nice depiction. Perhaps the hair is a little bit too high. Maybe some tweaking needs to be done to the portrait. But for the most part, they nail the expression in the face and definitely express the body. So that would be the only thing. And I like what they do. One thing I like about this collection is that they doing the basic basis for all these characters, for all these Marvel characters, and they look fantastic. They're not big. I think is their perfect size. They with the Spider-Man, the Wolverine. Look at that Wolverine with this really long. You know, of course, this is. I don't think he had that long of a. You know, his claws weren't that long on the game, but they trying to kind of go with it. You can see the difference in size. My Sabretooth that I have here in the collection, which is the one that I got, is sculpted by Eric Sosa, which is a custom piece. Love that one. I still have it. It's one of my favorite pieces because I'm a big fan of Sabretooth, and I have to always pair. I have to pair Sabretooth against Wolverine. That is just a given. So I feel that if you have to have this, you have to have Wolverine. If you have Wolverine, you have to have Sabretooth. It's just the way it's supposed to be in my mind. It's just great. I think they're gonna look so good. And they went with a very nice detail on that one. 110, really nice paint job. Love the color that they chose. Definitely respecting the source material. Definitely nice detailed musculature. Yeah, Sabretooth is such a character. I love the Marvel vs. Capcom series, and I love to use always Sabretooth also in my teams. This is the other version. This is actually, they took liberties on this, and they decided to go with a more classic look, which has been doing even with Spider-Man. There's not something that Bengus did, but there's something that they adding as a bonus. And this is going with the classic introduction of the character, kind of close to it. It's in some way, it looks like it. So you can see the outfit is more in the classic line. It's really, really cool, man. I'm telling you, they did a really nice job with it. And here you can see, this is the other version, 180. We're gonna look at the pictures now. Definitely they took some liberties, but it's cool, man. Like they come up with that the same concept. They say, hey, let's just do something, let's just play with it, and let's just do the. And here you can see with the brown Wolverine, that is very, very cool. So yeah, there's something that they've been doing with this. This collection is fun. It's something really fun that they're doing with the 110 scale. There's no denying on that. There's changes on the sculpt. It's not a repaint. That's something that is good in my opinion. Something that sometimes other companies do repaints, and they have done repaints too, even PCS. But I think that in this case, a totally different sculpt. They repurpose it, and it looks really, really, really cool. Now let's look at the next thing which is the biggest pre-order that they have this week, which is Pumpkinhead, Platinum exclusive. This is the 1/3 scale piece. They already produced a quarter scale that in my opinion is phenomenal, but now they're going into the 1/3 route, and their edition size is only 200 pieces. And look at this one, and it's very different. I will tell you that I still think that the quarter scale, in my opinion, is a better rendition, but this definitely looks more horrific in some way. I feel like the horror elements on this one is there. The base, it says Pumpkinhead, is an interesting, everything is interesting about this piece. Now, what you get in the exclusive, if you go to Sideshow, you get a different version. Of course, you get the regular, but if the Platinum version, it comes with gloves. It comes with the little makeup brush that they give you. You get the Ruby ticket and Platinum coin. You can use the Ruby ticket for discounts and stuff like that. You can continue coming back and get more discounts. You get a certificate of authenticity. They do here. Back in the day, they used to, I think, give certificate of authenticity when Macaluso wasn't the owner of the company. Of course, they did to everything, but now they do it they're doing it to this, which is interesting. And also, you get exclusive Platinum. You get an extra switch out part that you can add for the display to add something totally different. Very monstrous, very scary. It looks ugly, which it should be. Huge. Definitely this is for the fans of monsters. Those who really love this kind of thing, they definitely are the ones that are going to enjoy this the most. Look at this, kind of give you an idea how they did the pictures. Kind of cool that they do that. They kind of give you an idea how they come up with things. Very nice. Yeah, I like that picture. Very cool for this movie. Very an angle. Actually, there's not much to really like about the concept, even though I don't care much about the horror. I don't care much Pumpkinhead, but very, very unique. And the paint job is excellent. The detail there. Wow. Look at those nails. Pumpkins. And this is the title, Pumpkinhead. Cool, very cool. Now, let me show you something that maybe we can see it here coming soon. Something that I saw that they showcase. Let me see, they don't have anything there. All right, so let me take you to Facebook. And the reason why I'm taking you here, you can get Pumpkinhead again, Sabretooth, you can get him there as well. But then if you go to Facebook, oh no, that's not that one. I'm going to there. Let me show you Premium Collectibles. Today they have also, they showcase, they have a teaser for something that is coming very soon. Here are all the stuff that they've been producing. The Howling, this is the classic horror movie, 1981 horror movie. So they already announced that they're going to be doing 1/3 scale stuff. So definitely they still going into the 1/3 route with a lot of stuff, and particularly horror stuff. And so a lot of people excited. Definitely it's something that came out of nowhere. And if you are into the the werewolf stuff, you're into the horror stuff, definitely PCS is going into that route. Definitely they're investing a lot of it into the horror thing. Now, going back to the question that I was asked early here by Late Night Trip, in reference to all the pre-orders going in different scales, what's my thoughts on that? I would say that it's interesting to see PCS. PCS has been doing a lot of amazing stuff for sure. A lot of pre-orders, a lot of things on pre-order, a lot of stuff that they really showcase. And last year was a great year for PCS. I think this year is going to be also awesome. I already started with a bang. They have a lot of different things, whether it's for Marvel, whether it's the 1/3 scale stuff, they're doing the 1/3 scale stuff, they're doing quarter scale stuff. Street Fighter, they continue on there. So it's good. At the same time, my only concern is from Premium Collectibles, because they also have Transformers store that is coming. So my only concern with them is that they don't run themselves out, or they pull themselves so they run short, or they pull themselves thin in a way where they have so much stuff in their hands, but not you know, they're not delivering on those things, because when you have so much, it means you have to invest a lot of money. I'm not sure if this right now they have a lot of cash flow. I'm not sure if there's investors putting a lot of money, injecting money into the company, allowing them to invest and to pay more artists and to do more stuff that they didn't do before. But yeah, everything is an investment. Everything that you do right now is an investment. So companies like Sideshow, they're more established, for example. I think that surprised me right now with Sideshow, something that I would say Sideshow's been doing a lot of reveals. Almost now they're going into a different way that they're doing every week reveals, a lot of teasers, and it's good. It's good, and definitely it's something that it's good to keep momentum and to keep people interested. I'm not sure if that is the case for PCS. The interest is there, but at the same time, when it's good when you kind of stay true to certain things instead of just building or opening new collections, because that's what they've been doing. They got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they got so many things, they got Blade, they had so many new things, the Ghostbusters. So there's like multiple lines. They have almost every line to think of. You know, the only thing missing maybe is Star Wars, or they're missing DC, but they have a lot of things, whether it's in the horror side, whether it's in the Marvel side, whether in the gaming side, whether it's in Street Fighter stuff. So they also designing the cup round for the Capcom events or something like that from the, I think, Evo games in Las Vegas, all that. So they're doing so many things, and the problem with doing so many things is that you become master of none, because you're doing everything but not necessarily mastering anything, because you're doing everything. So I don't know, my only hope is that they don't sell themselves short, that they run out of breathing air because they choking themselves by doing and producing so many things, and on all different scales, because then you have collectors, they are all divided into what they're going to collect, because now you got this, you got that. So it's like they feel like, do I go to this way or that way? Like, for example, I didn't see the need for a 1/3 scale, to be honest. You know, Pumpkinhead, the quiet scale was more than enough, but at the same time, companies cannot live on something that was already sold out. They need to produce new stuff. And instead of creating a second version of the quarter scale, they decided to go with the 1/3. And right now, 1/3 has become very popular. So a lot of people collecting 1/3. So yeah, it's maybe that is the route that they want to follow. But definitely they're trying so many new things with so many different lines and so many different scales. I think it's good as long as they are able to keep up with it. That's just the way it is. If you're able to keep up with it and they're able to bring customers in and reel them in into buying those products, by all means, keep doing it. But if you're not doing it well, if you're losing customers by doing so, by confusing customers at the same time with what you're doing, then to stop it and just concentrate on the thing that you actually are good at. We'll see. So far, I think my hopes is great. I think Premium Collectibles has a lot of potential. Everything they're producing, definitely they're doing a lot of things. You can see on their Facebook group, they got the Michael Jordan stuff. You know, they got the NBA stuff. So they have the Jatori stuff. So, you know, yeah, they do have a lot of different things. Like here you can see the thing about that they're going to do the Capcom Cup. So they're designing that, which is really cool that they're doing something like that. But yeah, look at Premium Collectibles, of course. So many things, different scales. Killer Clown. Yeah, they're doing a lot, you know, which is could be good, could be bad. Species, for example, yeah, it's amazing. They have so many things that they go in so many different routes. So we'll see. I wish them luck, because I think they're doing it from the bottom of the heart. They're really investing themselves into doing this, to do it the right way. And definitely, I think the potential is there. The capacity to do it is there. All right, so now let's move to the last reveal. Wow, it's been a long night for sure. It's almost 11:30 right now, 11:30 p.m. Half an hour, 30 minutes to midnight. But let's finish the night strong. Let's finish with one more, and I want to take you to Regal Robot. That will be the last of the night. Regal Robot this week also had a big pre-order. This is also available at Sideshow. This is the I want to show you this. Maybe it comes up. This is almost gone. This is, I think it's available someplace else. The stock is so low. They got the this is the prop, the Wampa prop replica. It's a copy of replica of the prop, of the Wampa, this big jetty style monster that was on the Empire Strikes Back. It's a classic. I always remember that film. I was amazing, that event when he shows up, and you know, we didn't know how they did it. It was, as a kid, I looking at watching this, and I'm thinking, wow, that is amazing how they did this. You know, it's like this guy with something. It was just some puppet. And they did such a fantastic job. Now, they have taken some liberties on trying to add more stuff. Like, it didn't have a back. It was, you can insert the hand and move the puppet. That is not possible with this one. This is a replica, but it's just definitely more like this for display purposes. Now, there's two different versions. You got what they call the Legacy Edition, which is almost gone, almost sold out. And then you got the Signature Edition. Now, keep in mind that every time the Regal robot produces these replicas from the originals, they're to detail. And they're super expensive. They're not for everyone. This is $3,000 for the Phil Tippett, who is the one that was the creator of that particular Muppet, that puppet. And here you can see, ordered today, $3,000 for this one's almost gone. As you can see, it's almost out the window. I'm not sure, only 5 left in stock. That's all they have. So that's it. If you want to grab it before it's totally gone. Here you can see this one comes with the replica comes with a signature of Phil Tippett's, a sketch of the way they created the model for this. It's only 100 pieces. Only 5 left. So they already sold 95 of them. And here is an idea of how the puppet was used for the film. You can see a picture where it was used. So they're going with that. They're adding a lot more. I saw this one on Tested. I saw the video. You can find it on YouTube. You find it on YouTube. You look for Tested. Look at this one. Maybe I'll give you an idea. Regal Robot always has been done. There, Adam Savage, they do have a good relationship. So he's always been there with them. They always show the replicas. Here's a Wampa. If you follow also the channel, here you can see the closer look at the Regal Robot Wampa prop replica. You know, that gives you an idea of what they're doing here. So this is the scale, as you can see, maybe on this kind of video, you can see the size of this, which is super cool. And you can see all the stuff they have in the back, stuff that they have sold over the years. Very cool. This is here you can see the plaque and all, the signature. Very, very cool. But here you can see Adam Savage from Tested. Just waiting on that. I will recommend you to look at Adam Savage. Also look at Regal Robot channel so you can watch this one. I'll definitely recommend it. Just waiting for this commercial to pass. Hey, my friends, I said, Scrap Captain, what collectibles are you picking up, JP? I'll tell you in a moment. Let's see, of the ones that we talk about today, we'll see. I'll let you know. Let me think. I'll tell you at the end of the video. Here you can see this is, of course, he's getting out of the box. This is a great display. This is for definitely the hardcore fan that wants something. And looking at the detail, even the eyes, they use this resin to make it look like the eyes, like it was done in the movie. The level of the detail, it's really, really well done. Of course, this is not for everyone. This is for the hardcore. He even inserted a camera inside because there's so much detail even in the mouth. He inserted one of those internal little cameras. He did it. It was a pretty good video, so I recommend anyone to watch the video because you can see the level of detail to make it look so realistic. This puppet looks amazing. Even the teeth look realistic. Ugly, realistic. You know, they're really, really cool. So yeah, I would say that this is a very interesting concept here. The sketches that were used, and of course you get the little sketches to come alongside it. Very well done. This is an idea how we'll look into the toy lines, the classic toys or the toys. Very nice. Very nice piece. Yeah, definitely Regal Robot is a company. Like, there's 5 left just for that one. If you want the signature, if you're gonna pay this type of money, might as well just go with the one that has everything. Now, you want the other one. This one's in stock. The numbers, it doesn't really say. So I'm sure it's more like made to order type of thing. But these are just the regular ones. They will, however, they will come with a plaque, a signature, kind of like a certificate of authenticity. They don't have the sketches, but they do have the little plaque, just to have an idea. So yeah, just the sketches that will add the extra value, but this one definitely come in the edition size, all of that. So just to give you an idea what comes with this one. All right, so now really coming to the end of the video. Oh, it's been a long night. Wow, I didn't expect it to be this long. And I'm thirsty. I've been talking like my mouth is so dry now. I want to say to going to your question, squad, Captain, what I'm gonna get here of all this collectibles, I am definitely going for some of the Marvel Legends. Not all of them, but I'm gonna get some of them. Definitely looking for on the Build-A-Figure, Icarus, that what's the other, Cable. Definitely Cable is interesting. Icarus, Kassar, so a few of them, you know, I'm gonna add eventually. The McFarlane toys, I think the one that really I like, the Todd McFarlane set with the classic depiction. It's already sold out there, so I'm gonna have to do some searching to find it somewhere. That is the only way I see it. I'm gonna get that. Now, I kind of like that Unix Square Optimus Prime bus. It's like a mini bus from Optimus Prime. That is interesting. I think the price is perfect. That has a possibility that I might grab that one. I like Flame toys, but right now I'm not collecting Flame toys. I'm collecting, you know, Studio 86 Transformer stuff, so I'm not necessarily into that. With the Mondo, I'm not sure about the X-Men, like trying to get him because it's building that collection. I've been possibly, I was interested on getting that. I wanted to get that Raoh, but I was thinking about getting the exclusive version because he has all the extras, and all of a sudden it was completely sold out. So at some point maybe. The Beetlejuice, it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm thinking about the Beetlejuice. I'm thinking about it. I don't know, I'll wait for that. I don't think that something that I want to pre-order, something that perhaps I wait until it comes out and there's release, you know, reviews, and maybe that has potential. After that, what else I saw there that I kind of skip? I would say that from this, there's not really that much. From the Iron Studios, definitely that, not necessarily like, I don't think there was a lot of stuff that I would say that, particularly on this collection. Oh yeah, the PCS Sabretooth 110, and that's one that definitely I'm gonna get. I'm definitely gonna get into that collection. I'm looking for the Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm looking forward to that collection, and also for the Street Fighter from a PCS. That's definitely one that I am. Is the perfect scale for me. It's the perfect size, so I am definitely going for it. It's the perfect price point. Everything is perfect for me, so I am definitely going for that. For Tweeterhead, I would love for them to start going into Thundercats into 1/6, but right now, of course, they're starting with just the 1/5, 1 Legend. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, there are a couple of things here that I will definitely go for, but and there's a lot of companies doing amazing work, you know, and I like to talk about it. Even the stuff that I don't really go for to buy, I like to talk about it because at the end of the day, you know, talking about it is cheap, you know, it's free. I don't need to invest. But yeah, I think the most exciting for me, definitely I'll get the Hasbro, but I always get the Hasbro no matter what. The McFarlane came out of nowhere. That Optimus Prime bus, definitely. The Mondo X-Men it's I'm thinking about it, definitely, if I get the chance. Even maybe the regular version, just to go and get actually Gambit and Rogue. That would be great to go alongside it, just to display them together. And definitely the Sabretooth and all the Marvel vs. Capcom stuff from PCS definitely is on my list. It's on my radar. All right, my friends, with last few minutes, I want to say to all of you, thank you very much. Thank you for being supportive of this channel. We already been here. Let me look at this. 3.5 hours. It's been a long night. I didn't expect it to be this long. I'm tired and my eyes are closing. I'm definitely done. But I want to say to all of you, thank you for your support. Thank you for always being there for me and being part of this channel. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm working on some stuff, and over the weekend I'll work on some stuff. Maybe I do some live streaming for my gaming channel this weekend. Maybe. I'm not so sure yet. It depends if I get the opportunity, the chance, the time. So I'm really tired. It's been a long weekend. I got things to do here with the family too, here in the house. So we'll see. But if I get the chance, I will let everyone know. But I want to say thank you. Thank you, each one of them. Thank you, Late Night Trip. Thank you, Squad Captain. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody. Everybody that actually posted. Through the notes, let me see if I can see it. Everyone that is started from the beginning. Late Night Trip, you've been with me almost all night. Thank you, my friend. Mitchell Lawrence, thank you, friend. Rick Duggins, thank you very much, my friend. Warrior Chaplain 13, thank you very much. You know, all of you, I appreciate your night. Thank you very much, my friend. And everyone that comes later, that comes through, you know, watch the video later, thank you very much too for your support. And don't forget, leave a like. Let me know what you're watching. Also, if you are going to game this weekend, I'll be there. Thank you, squad. I'll let you know. I'll inform everyone if I do it. I had the desire to do some gaming, but you know, it's hard with everything. But I will do it because I love to do some gaming. I have fun that, you know, Monday. It was fun. It was really fun. So thank you for watching that. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. So my friends, God bless you. Take care. Have a great weekend. I wish you the best. Leave me in the comments what you think about the stuff we talk about it. Anything you're interested on, anything that you're ready to pre-order, anything that you're going to pick from all this list that we went through with extensive lists. Take care. Have a good night. Have a good day. Good afternoon.